Hey guys. Hey,
Hello.
Ashley. So, gosh, it's been forever since we've done one of these.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yes. Too long. I've been trying to come up with something good. And then tonight we're just like, no, we don't. We're just gonna go on.
We're gonna wing it.
Like, yes, we're winging it. Exactly. um, did you see in the creators chat the idea for a like like a puzzle writers workshopping?
I didn't. I need to
Okay.
catch up on that.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. I'll tell you about it. I'm super excited about it. And I hope some people will sign up for it. Um, but so there's a few people in the group that have reached out and they are really interested in um, practicing while they're here, like gaining experience and stuff like that. And then hopefully transferring that into like bigger projects down the road. And so for those folks, I reached out to some people that are around the treasure hunting and puzzle communities, like some big names. And I asked them, hey, would you be willing to, if I streamline the process and made it super easy for you, and it's just like a couple minutes that you just have to look over each puzzle. Would you be willing to sit down with, like 10 or 12 puzzles and give some like coaching or some feedback on them? And they were excited about it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and I hope some people will take advantage of it, because I really feel like it could be like really valuable.
Yeah, I agree. I need
Yeah,
all the learning.
I know,
Teach me.
right? Yeah. So I'm super excited for that. It'll be like a pretty easy process too because the puzzles are already made, so they'll just make like a PDF with the puzzle the way that it was posted. I hear you,
He's
baby. So
really
sweet.
cute until he's angry.
And then you just create your PDF, and that includes, hey, Evie.
Hello.
Oh, hey, girl.
Is it curly? I don't know what's going on.
It is.
Let's see. What I
Telling,
missed?
well, I was telling Ashley about, we just started. We started late too. I was
There's
just
so
telling
much.
Ashley about the puzzle writers workshop thing that I'm cobbling together. And I'm really excited because there's a couple of folks that I'm just going to repeat real quick what I told Ashley. There's a couple of folks in the group that are really interested in kind of using mind games for practice and experience, and ultimately kind of just creating bigger stuff down the road. And so for those folks, I thought, like, wouldn't it be great? Well, actually, it was a member suggestion to have a creators head to head, and just like we were having like a head to head for the leaderboard guys. And I thought that was a really cool idea. But then, like, no one really seemed as interested in the competition part of it. So I was like, well, what if we just cut out the competition part and just make it like a workshop where we can get some feedback? You can submit a puzzle, and then you can get some feedback from some of like the pretty pretty big hitters from around like the puzzle and hunt world. So yeah,
Cool.
I think that'll be awesome.
yeah,
It'll
I'm
be fun.
excited.
Yeah.
No pressure at all.
Well, it'll be fun because um they're excited, and they're like, I mean, there's like a lot of like stuff. So I mean, if they don't particularly vibe with a puzzle, they can just skip it. You know what I mean? Or I think a lot of it, most of it's going to be like, hey, I thought this was really clever. You did this well. And if you like maybe tweaked this a bit, it would have been even stronger, kind of thing or whatever. So
Yeah, that'll be super cool.
yep.
I need all the cipher puzzle help.
Yeah,
They're so evil.
they are. They're so freaking confusing.
Not
Well, it's
all
like,
of them. I like
right.
the
And I'll
obvious
figure out
ones.
one. I'll
Yeah.
figure out one. I'm like, I got this. And then someone releases another one, and I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah. It has numbers. It has letters. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm bad at
But-
math and words. This is horrible.
Oh, and then you have to, we shuffle a little bit, and then we, Caesar skip a few, and then we go the other way.
Oh, you mean like combo? Yeah. Like,
It's like
Yeah,
you get
they're
to choose one cipher, none of this combo cipher crap.
agreed. Absolutely. Yeah, they're pretty evil. It's just I find for myself, I think in generalities, and so they're all very specific rules, And like you said, I can remember the rules for like some of them, but then I get them crossed up, I guess, a little bit. Like I think on the Caesar key, I messed up with you put the keyword and then you start the alphabet where the last letter of the keyword ends off.
Right.
So I think I messed that up and I just started the alphabet. Like I put the keyword and then I started with A, B, C, D or whatever. And so because I think you do that in like a fair play or something. If you have a keyword in the box, then you write your keyword and then you do your alphabet like starting there. So I don't know. But anyway, I got my wires crossed. But yeah.
So that one doesn't take out the duplicates?
It does. It does take out the
Oh.
duplicate.
Yeah,
So
'cause wait a minute, it worked for me.
yeah, it worked if you
when I did it.
Yes, but it didn't work on that one website because I think the website I was telling everybody how to use the alphabet, like just end with skeleton and start with A, B, C, take out all the duplicate letters. When the actual, I think, technique is the last letter in skeleton is N. So you would start with O, P, like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So that's how you still add in the rest of the alphabet. And then once you get to Z, then you start with A, B, C. Instead of starting A, B, C after your keyword, if that makes sense.
I'll have to try that.
huh.
Yeah.
I was
Great.
real mad at
There's
Decode.
another option.
So that's I don't know. Like, I think that I swore I remembered up and down that and I knew you had to let the rest of the alphabet in. That's where I suck at these. Like, yeah, that's my problem is I think in generalities and they're very hard and fast rules.
Maybe there's a different cipher where you do it, where you continue on versus starting at the beginning. Because I thought on one of them, I did skeleton.
Yeah.
And then I did A, B, from the A point. Like I physically typed it in. I didn't just have skeleton as the keyword. And there's George.
So you
That's
don't
true.
always have to do it that way. I guess. So, okay. So there are variations, I guess. And I know on Decode, it lets you type in your own alphabet.
Yeah.
So I think
And that's the only time on there that I got the right answer. And I couldn't type in the keyword or the shift and get it to make sense. Like I had to change the alphabet and put it in that way.
Yeah. So that was my bad. Yeah. So
And I could see how if you were doing this on paper, if you don't get it if you don't write it out wherever you're supposed to start, and you're going to be screwed up with that.
Yeah. So kind of like what we were talking about with rules. That's why I like steganography so much better than ciphers. But they're like
I'm not good at that either.
Oh, I love that. Like, that's my favorite because then you make up like your own clues no, I don't know. I think your puzzle, I don't know. Like, steganography to me is like you leave clues in the puzzle of how to solve the puzzle. You know what I mean? Like there might be, I don't know. I had it written
So the
out.
fuzzy logic would qualify as that? Because I always thought it was like hidden, like you had to change some kind of like filter or something to find something hidden.
Oh, that's the digital. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Tony's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought I had it written out here. Hold on, from the other night when we were on. Evie, tell everybody that we got to go on Code Bar.
We did. We got to go in Code Bar, and let's just say my level of cipher usage is a lot lower than everyone else's. So you won't get to hear me talk too much, but I think what I said the few times was actually useful because being the I don't know how to do this, teach me Obi-Wan, it's like I'm the lower level, so I'm the beginner, and so you get that wide variety of thoughts or squirrels depending what you're looking for. So although I did like the one we went over, so
yeah, that was a fun cipher. Yeah. So no, I thought we were both in the same boat, girl, on that's for sure. But yeah, I thought you had some really good points.
I mean, I like the visual stuff in general. Somebody has those ones up right now that it's supposed to be like an author in the book. It's like you get 3 things. I can't think of what it's called.
The constraint puzzles.
Yeah. I just sit there and I go, ow, what? I don't, I need to look that up, like a dummies for that, so I can see how that's supposed to work. I understand looking, trying to figure out the clues themselves, but it's just like you aren't given much. And I can come up with anything. You give me some numbers and it's all over the place. So, I mean, I definitely need the visual stuff for me to work on anything, really.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm more visual too. I like, but I like the constraint puzzles. He's good at writing clues. I feel like he's pretty precise. Like they can, like you said, they could mean there are lots of answers that could fit, but one that it best fits, kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of see.
Yeah. Well, there's only been a couple so far, so I mean, I'm interested in it. I just know that I need to learn a bit more about the process so I can hopefully try to figure them out. Otherwise, just give me Trebek.
That was a really good one.
I was totally.
I'm like Sean Connery. Oh, she's almost there.
Well,
I thought that was really good. I loved the layers that you had. I thought the clues were really strong, where you had the tree, and then you had a maple tree, but you also made it a red maple tree, so that the fact that it was a maple tree wasn't lost. That it was Canadian and all it. So I really liked the layers.
I was so looking like Canadian reporters and stuff, and I was like, game show host, and I'm like, Bob Barker, Happy Gilmore, and
so like, close.
And that was all over the Sean Connery and Scottish thing, but it was just one step. Oh well. It was fun.
I used like 8 of my free AI things on that puzzle. I'm like, this isn't good enough.
You need to send me the link because I want to try making some, but I haven't really found a site that works for me yet.
It's Bing or whatever. It's the Copilot one that I use.
I think that's what I was trying. It was not going well last night. It kept saying I was using words that were not allowed, and I was like, Tim Curry. Okay, we all love Tim Curry. Why are we not giving what? Not sure what's so dirty about Tim Curry. I didn't even put in Rocky Horror, but
Too funny.
Did you spell horror the wrong way?
I didn't even put it in. I put Tim Curry in, and it said it was flagged words.
I think we're not allowed.
Okay.
Don't censor my creativity.
Couldn't even get it started. I was so excited.
I want to get to the point like Chris was saying the other day, where he was just like rambling it off. He's like, okay, the first thing you look for, you see these numbers, and this is the range, so you know that narrows it down to these sets of ciphers. And I was like, you do, like, how do you like, I know if they're numbers like between 1 and 26, I mean, I could probably do something with that, but if you got a 45 in there, I'm like,
yeah,
well, home, I guess. So I
numbers in general.
Yeah, I want to know like what you do, like what are rules in and rules out when the numbers are in this range, or if there's numbers and letters, what is that rule in or out? Or what, like what are your first things that you think of when you see, that kind of stuff? That's where I want to get to, as far as like
Yeah.
cipher skill level.
Well, and that's where I think the websites and the apps kind of hurt us, because if you just type in there are so many ciphers.
Yeah.
And how many actually get used? I mean, there's, you're going to start with your base ones, I would think.
Yeah.
And then really rattle your brain after you eliminate those, but depends on the day.
The ones that shift midway, like, it was already hard. Why are you doing this? It seems mean.
I don't know how anyone would keep going, because don't you have to, like, so if you're, do you mean like double layers, or just like it just shifts methods? Like it gives you an answer and then it just stops, it just starts being gibberish and then you have to figure out another method?
Right.
Or,
so it's like every 12 letters, it's going to change keys or whatever.
Oh.
Or there's one that it's like every letter change. Is that the thing? I don't know.
I can say
that in that Incredible Hunt Sunday.
Oh God.
Where it was like it was a Caesar shift, but it was every letter you incremented or something.
Yeah.
And you guys tried to explain it to me, and I went, I don't understand. I get taking the numbers out and putting in alphabetical order what letters are left. Beyond that, I was like, I'm looking at, there is nothing that ties in. Is like, oh, every letter shifts. And I'm like, well, I could make that up, just throwing my Scrabble chips on the floor.
Right.
Just as painful.
So much trial and error, I think. And I just get kind of frustrated sometimes.
Yeah. That's why I feel like if you can get to the level of, or even if you have like a cheat sheet for, hey, if you see this, then, try these first, try these 3 first. Or if you see, and they do have those in the software, they have it where the analyzers, where that'll like give you kind of like a rating on what it likely is. But most of those, I still don't know what the hell they are. And I don't even know how to, maybe I just need to not use G-code, because it has so many variables. Like it lets you set everything. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Backwards alphabet, forwards alphabet,
I agree.
Alphanumeric, spaces, or these symbols. The sky is blue today, and my favorite Pokemon is. I mean, there's a lot. I like the just auto solve or brute force. Don't ask me this complicated stuff, and I just hope it works.
I think
recognizing the ciphers is like hard enough.
Now, did either of you ever work on Midnight Studio Hunt?
No. What was that one?
That is what is his name? People watching, they're going to know who it is. Midnight Studio Hunt. It came out, I think, right before COVID started. Cats on the counter, imagine that. But he drew, there were like 20 or 22 puzzles that, like, he's an artist, so he drew them out. And there was a verse that would be hidden on the back of a playing card, and it was Pigpen. Mm-hmm. That part. So I got really good at Pigpen for that. So that would give you your verse. Yeah. And then you'd look at the picture and you'd find the actual pinpoint the item. Like I think one was a Minerva sculpture, or it was by one or something like. But these pictures were beautiful. And I actually got a couple. Not as many as Phil did, but because you're looking at the image, a lot of the images there was Morse in them, or rail fence, or there were a bunch of different visual ciphers in those and that's maybe why I like the visual ones so much better. Just because I got trained kind of on those, but they're still up. And then he released a book on there about hunting for a rabbit that I can't remember the exact name, but Midnight Studio Sushi. but it's Midnight, MIDNITE Studio. And it's on Facebook. I mean, I don't even know how I found him, to be honest. But a lot of the people that are on all the sites that we're normally on were on there. So it was fun. It was cool. It took a few years. Like there was one that it went over a year for sure.
Wow. Yeah.
So
it's over, but you can like still do it.
yeah, you could still work on them. That I mean, they're there. You could see the solve or the spot, and then if you look on the Facebook page, you could see the actual written out solves. Like one I figured out, and the way I figured out had nothing to do with the actual solve. I think I was watching Airplane on repeat on like the FX channel, movie Airplane, if you guys know.
Yeah.
And it was the radar scene with the funny guy going, look, it's this and this, and he unplugs it. And for some, I'm like, it's a radar. It's like a radar layout. And I figured it out from that, and it actually like.
Oh, that's cool.
Nothing. It was just the squirrels went off of watching Airplane with the radar in it.
Right time, right place, right time.
It was a weird one. I mean, I'll take it, but it was, it was funny. But I think it's a cool one if you're just starting Cyphers, like just from a visual standpoint, just to see how they could be used in art, maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely will get Pigpen into your brain.
The baby child's angry.
I want to
Pigpen
see
is-
my internet boyfriend baby.
Oh my God, he needs to take a nap. It's time for bed. Pigpens are actually one of the ones that we use frequently in escape rooms. So I'm actually familiar with that one. Like that one I'm good at.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the list. The ones I'm good at.
Mm-hmm. Talking about like really, really cool visual puzzles. Forgotten History did one last year for the Mysterious Writings Masquerade tribute thing, and it was called Sabine something, or the Sabine the Sabine treasure or something like that. But it was so freaking cool because it was one of the huge bulletin boards with like all the cool stuff, and it had like the hey George.
You guys are making this very hard on yourselves. You know that, right?
Why?
Because there's really only a couple of different types of ciphers, right? It doesn't matter. Like Pigpen, when you're solving a cipher, Pigpen's basically the same thing as a Caesar cipher when you're solving it. It's just a substitution. It's you substitute a letter for something else, right?
Yeah.
Either another letter or a symbol or a number, or it's just like Morse code. It's the same thing. And as long as you can figure out, like if you're looking at a puzzle and you like count the characters, and if there's only there's 24 letters, right? If there's only 24, it's a monoalphabetic cipher, right? It's just the alphabet. If it's more than that in symbols, there's something else. So it's going to be like letters and numbers, or letters and like punctuation or something else. And then you just start breaking it. Like it doesn't breaking us. If you don't know, like Pigpen's really, really easy because you just draw a couple of, like tic-tac-toe things and some X's, and then you're good to go. But like, if you didn't know like how to work out the key for that, solving it's the exact same way as solving a Caesar cipher. You're just picking out like pairs and working on common combinations.
Like
that's why, like when you were doing the Vigneer cipher, when you were talking about, I didn't see it, so I don't know which one you were talking about. But when you were like, we've got this keyword and we throw it in here and then we finish the alphabet and then we shift it by 3, and I was like, I don't know why we're shifting it by 3. That makes it more complicated for you, but it doesn't make it any more complicated for me. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like what you're like, instead of learning, because there's somebody was saying earlier, there's a shitload of ciphers, but they're all basically the same. There's only like 2 or 3 different categories of them. And as long as you can recognize what category of cipher you're working in, you can figure out how to solve it much easier. That way you don't have to like be able to recognize a Bacon cipher versus a Caesar cipher versus a Pigpen cipher. You just have to know what type of cipher you're working with.
Yeah.
Until you get to shit like the Zodiac cipher, where he's like, it's a monoalphabetic cipher, but he's got like 8 different characters for different letters. So until you get into stuff like that, it gets really complicated.
Yeah. How do you know the difference between when it is a substitution cipher versus a, what is it,
Transposition cipher? You like the frequency analysis is what Chris was talking about. He made it pretty complicated, but it's a way of frequency analysis tells you a lot about what cipher you're working with, what language you're working on, and stuff like that. And you really want to just use a program for it. It's really complicated. You're working out the average dog is like licking the air. You're working out like the averages of letter frequencies.
Yeah.
It's really just easier to use the tool. But yeah, it's not rocket science. It just kind of seems like rocket science. It's like if someone were to give you a car that's broken and be like, fix the car. You know what I'm saying? You guys are like essentially like, well, I need to figure out the differential ratio. No, you don't need to do that. You got to, check the gas.
Unless it's a Jeep, and then it's a Zodiac type cipher.
Yeah, like ciphers look complicated because there's so many of them, and like there's a lot of information because people like to know how they were constructed. But 9 times out of 10, like this is like we're talking in general, like in general here, not in because there's exceptions to this. But 9 times out of 10, they're all solved the same way. It's just until you get into like one-time pads and book ciphers and shit.
Oh gosh, when you have to count the letters, find this number paragraph and this line and this letter of this word, and then you're counting. You just have to make sure your eyes are working. That's not as much, but there is a site that you can do that on too.
Can a stoner do it? I know a lot of stoners that work ciphers.
That's too
So
funny.
probably the main thing is to just not panic when you first see it, because if you just start panicking, you're like, and then you could, instead of looking at the base ciphers that they usually are, and you just start going off and looking at the harder ones first, then you just get more scrambled.
Those are the 2 things I'm good at, though, is like making things
That's what I
for myself and panicking. So
Well,
but that's the thing. That's like where people get in their heads a little bit too much. Like, is this a hard cipher? What kind of cipher is it? Like, who cares? Just solve it.
Nice, George. Nice.
just solve it.
And I mean, I say that like I'm not good at ciphers by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have the patience for them most of the time. But I don't know. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Don't panic.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's just a problem you have to work out.
It's math.
It's not. It's sometimes
Math ones suck. I don't do the math ones.
mm-mm.
Yeah, math. Like when it gets into math, it gets tricky. Especially like take this position, take the previous position, add it to the current position, subtract that, and that's your letter. That kind of stuff. That sucks.
Yeah.
That stuff you're probably not gonna break.
Nice.
But I'll sit there and I'll work on it all night, and then that Ambien kicks in, and then I figure it out, I think.
I have invented so many puzzles. So many, like I'm trying to figure out other people's puzzles or whatever. I have invented ones. Like I'm down. I'm like, I'm gonna use that.
Well, it's like that Your Legacy puzzle that I made where like everybody's like nobody's figured out the puzzle part of it yet. Like everybody just looks at it and is like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. But it's like every puzzle has to give you information. You got to have basically letters or symbols, right? And then you just figure out what those mean. I don't know.
Recognizing the color block cipher is about as far as I've gotten on that one. So
There's no color block cipher.
yeah,
No.
you said it last time. You confirmed it. Yeah, when
So
you're
the
walking
colors,
down.
the colors mean, like, if you can figure out the colors, it's not like a color. Is there a color? I guess it probably is a color block cipher, but that's not what that is. You can extract letters from that, but it's not like a. I don't know. Let me look it up. I thought I came
This
up
is
with it. Maybe I did.
they're like on a video walking down the street. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is color block cipher?
Yeah, that was one that I didn't really even know about until the other day when I was on the decode like symbols list of cipher symbols, and I was like, oh hell, I've seen so many of these in puzzles and didn't know what the hell to do with them.
Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Like there was stuff that flashed on the screen and stuff, if I remember correctly. It's been
Mhm.
a long time.
Yeah, like it's one pattern, and then the pattern just goes burp, and then burp.
All right, Ashley, we're gonna do that one next.
Okay.
I actually think, like,
fun.
when I made that, I was like, this is going to be obvious to Brett. I was honestly making that one like as a to see if Brett could solve it, and I was like, this is going to be obvious to Brett, and then I realized I fucked up, and it wasn't so obvious.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that screws up when I make them.
No, yeah, I screwed up.
That's why you have tester friends to look at stuff that
Yes.
see stupid stuff and go,
Yeah, like it's like it's been like three years since the thing's released, so it doesn't really matter. But it's like when you look at that cipher, you assume the letter that most people who would work on something like that would assume that the color that you see is the letter that you need. Like you see the color red and you need an R, and you don't, or you would see the color red and you would need the number 1, and you don't. You need something else, and that's where I screwed it up.
your dog really is looking at the air.
Yeah, he does that. I don't know why. I think it's sinuses. Bulldogs do that. It's just what he does. It's all messy over there.
Florida has orange tasting air.
No, I think it's bulldogs with their sinuses. They're trying to clear their sinuses. All
There's
the bulldogs
surgery
do that.
for that, just saying.
He's too old. He's way too old for surgery. Dude, you're loud.
I can't stop watching it though. I'm just
I
like,
know
oh, God.
it's like
Gotta go.
It's the Ryder show.
is there like a ghost guy with treats in his hand that he's actually
He started doing that like when we got him, and he just never stopped. I think it's sinuses. Dude, you're loud. Whatever. Okay.
It's cute though.
Yeah.
Probably not 3 a.m. if he's laying in your bed doing it, but
Well, so like, bulldogs can't breathe really well. They have to have their head elevated and stuff. So we found out that he likes to sleep in chairs with arms. So there's like a chair beside Rachel's desk that he sleeps in. He just puts his head up on the arm and just sleeps like that. And he doesn't snore. It's nice. If there's something on the chair, it's going to be a bad night, but it's fine.
That's my chair.
Yeah.
Aw.
so we need a runny dog nose cipher. It's basically that.
I didn't like ruin your conversation, did I?
No.
Because you guys were talking, and then I came in and I was like, "You're doing it wrong."
That's no comment. No, I'm just teasing. I was telling them about this really cool puzzle that I saw last year. I didn't solve it by any means. I want to go back and look at the solution, but it was by Forgotten History, and it was on last year's Masquerade tribute on Mysterious Writings, and they had this huge bulletin board, and it was like totally legit. Like it had all this stuff on it, and it had, the pins and the strings and everything like running everywhere, and it had color block cipher on it. I didn't know that was what that was until I saw it the other day, but it was really cool. I only solved one part of it, but it was pretty neat the way they did it. They had
No, go ahead.
okay, they had different, there was everything all over this thing, so you had to kind of try to figure out what went with what, and one of the things looked like kind of like a, I don't know, like an index card with these letters written on it, and it was kind of like it looked like a rail cipher. The letters did, the way that they were written out. They were in a zigzag, kind of, but it was running from top to bottom. So, and then you had this other piece that was like, I guess attached by string or something. I can't remember what made me link the two. Maybe they were both black and white or something, but it was just black and white squares. And so it had just a line of like tiny little squares. And so it would just be white, 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 black. And then that was the letter that you needed off of this zigzag of the letters and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool how you had to put different parts together. That was the only part I got out of. That's the only part I solved on that one.
I can, if you guys want to do anything with that legacy thing, since it's been so long, I'll tell you how to find the key. I'll tell you how to use those colors, because like I don't think anybody's going to work on it. So if it gives you a challenge, I'll tell you how to use the colors. But as far as I know, nobody's found the puzzle aspect of that yet. Like the colors is just a key.
Do you have to go dig something up, or is this an armchair?
No, there's nothing to win. You just,
well, but I mean, like to go get. Like this is something I can do.
There's nothing to. Yeah, you can do it at home. There's a long string of text somewhere that no one has found, and if you figure it out, you get to know what that long string of text says. And to be honest, I don't remember what it says. Like I remember the gist. I remember the point I was trying to get across, but I don't remember what it says.
I'll try it.
Said that she found some words, and she and Rachel may have found the long string of text. Or she said we found some letters in that puzzle hex code.
I don't think it's hex. Let me go look. I don't think I did anything in hex.
Yeah,
went to YouTube.
Binary. That's another one. Those two.
Binary.
Like if you have all numbers and you have to figure out, like if you're going to just try to transpose it, but then you have to figure out if you're doing the alphabet starting at 0 or if you're starting from 1.
Yeah. No, let me look at it real quick.
Some of the stuff, that's for sure. But
so let's brag on some of you guys' favorite puzzle on the group so far, or one of your favorites, something that stands out. I guess the first one you think of.
Well, I'm gonna love Suck at Trebek because I may have named a kitten Suck at Trebek. So there
is no hex. Just so Kathy knows.
Okay.
My baby child is so angry.
Aww.
Show me the baby.
I liked Jeremy's labyrinth puzzle. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. And his won't go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even do the one. That background got used. I don't know if he used it twice or if somebody else used it, but there was one where the image was kind of actually 3D, at least on my phone. And I was like, yeah, I can't even look at that. That's just not going to happen. But I like the idea of it, but I just couldn't. With the shifty, it was.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kathy says, okay, there was a long string of text there, but no discernible patterns.
Oh, there's a long string of text somewhere. There's a couple of them.
Oh, well, there
you go.
Discernible patterns, though.
There's 3. No, there's no, just you won't find no discernible pattern.
And then now, Kathy, you just figure out what it says.
Yeah. It's gonna be difficult though. So the way to find the key in that thing was really hard. Like I've always said, this is hard. Like it's made for Brett hard, and Brett is way better than these things than I will ever dream to be. But the way to find the key for this is generally when a puzzle person sees colors, they think of Roy G. Biv, right? That's just what we think of, Roy G. Biv. And if you were to take, the colors and lay them out in a rainbow, they create Roy G. Biv. If you take the position of each of those colors, like red would be position 1 in Roy G. Biv. And since it's a 1, assign it an A. If you were to take orange, since it's in position 2, assign it a B. And you do that for that whole pattern front and back, like both of them, because it flips once or twice. I can't remember. You have a key, and then you can use that key to solve whichever series of letters you found, because there's several
Very
of them.
cool. Okay.
So yeah, that one was a tricky one.
It's cool though.
Yeah. And then if you can figure out that weird audio thing, that'll
Oh.
tell you the cipher used.
The audio stuff. Oof.
That one's easy. But anyway, I made Ashley run away.
She said she's taking notes.
Yeah. Well, she's tending to thy child, the demanding child who says, "Feed me now."
Back when that thing first came out, people were trying to make me give them clues, and I the only clue I ever gave was the song "Roy G. Biv" by They Might Be Giants, and nobody got it. They were just like, "Oh, all right."
So
My
I
problem.
like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm usually using my phone. Sometimes I'll go to my iPad. I rarely go on my computer, and there's just some stuff you can't really do or see on a little itty bitty screen.
Yeah.
Another hint, I guess, for is everything is useful. Nothing is there for
S&G.
decoration.
Yeah.
So if you look at things, you may be like, I wonder, like this one thing's got something wrong with it, and that might be helpful.
I like old school steganography better than I guess ciphers.
Like hiding a code inside of an image's code.
No, that's like digital. That's like I mean like old stuff. Like I don't, God, I can't believe I'm going blank. But like, for example, if you, okay, so I wrote this down for the other night from when we were on the other thing, but the art of concealing information in plain sight, that's what I've generally like to do in my puzzles. And the difference is like, you know how ciphers have a set rule and everyone, you have to know those rules. Like you know, like, functionally, if you're really sending someone a secret message, then you know, hey, we're going to use this cipher, kind of thing or whatever. But instead of be like they hold the clues in the document or the image that indicates how to solve them. So you have to figure out like the puzzles there. So I like those. I think those are fun.
Like ones that lead to phone numbers, and you call the phone number and you get another clue, and then that tells you to do something else if you can figure it out.
Just like ARGs. Sounds like you guys just like ARGs.
What is
If my
ARGs?
brain works, I'm happy.
ARG, alternate reality games. Right in.
No, this was just like
Get the fuck out of my room.
No. That was a reference.
Yeah, it sounds like you just got. Sounds like you guys just like ARGs.
I don't know if I played those. Well, I mean, I played the only one that was like that one.
Incredible. Like
Yeah,
that.
the Incredible
That's
Hunt.
what I was like. We were
The
like
Incredible Hunt? That's not really an ARG.
The ones
I just
we
like you
gave
had
up
to. We had to. You got the card. And we had to figure something. And one of them was and we did it. And then it's a phone number. And you called the phone number, and it told you something else. And then you had to
It was
keep
pretty
going.
good for a while. And actually, the first cards made sense, and then all of a sudden, just like everything stopped making any sense. Even the solutions to the new ones, like even the solution to the one that was solved, the third one solved, it was like, I don't see how anybody.
There's a name of a documentary about an ARG.
You just sound like a really bored pirate when you're saying
ARG.
that.
Is it the Institute? I think is what it was called.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a
the
human
Institute. Watch the Institute. It's on Netflix, I think.
It's so
That was one of
good.
John Michael's favorite movies.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that's an ARG. Or like the super famous ARG was I Love Bees, which came out, I think it was a Halo video game tie-in thing. But those are really like you got to show up in random places to pick up physical objects or call random people, give codes to get coded messages and that kind of stuff.
So basically,
Yeah,
what
that was
people think the
super cool.
secret is.
Yeah, it's kind of what people think the secret is. There's been some cool ones where like you just sign up with your phone number and you wait, and then all of a sudden you'll get like packages in the mail and like text messages and emails and all kinds of shit,
Yeah.
and you have to solve a physical puzzle in the physical world. That's why they call it alternate reality, because it exists in reality, but it's an alternate reality.
That
I
sounds
think
fun.
there's one through that.
That's
Like Nate signed up for it, and he gets like random messages or emails or whatever with links
Yeah.
to follow.
They're a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it's cool. Yeah.
people
That
are
was
fun.
always what the like Brett and mine and Mark's Reddit puzzles tried to be. It's like the one we did in St. Augustine, everything was physical. And nobody could figure out how all these, like, how are all these puzzle people just hiding something in St. Augustine? And it's like, anyway.
So what's your favorite, like, what's a way that someone has done like a proxy, or they've given out, like in a big hunt that you've liked? Like I always like the Great US Treasure Hunt, the Great US.
The one in the book,
Yes,
Yeah.
like 4, I think, and you.
I really liked
That's
their method. Yeah, where you get like 5 words or whatever, you Google it and it sends you one place. Like that was a pretty cool method. For like
And it
hiding.
wasn't a hard read either. Like it didn't hurt your brain to read it.
No, it was good. I agree. I really
Yeah.
wish they would got like funding or a TV show or something where they could have kept going, because
Yeah. They at least got an author, like a ghostwriter, to write the stories. I think 99, I'd say, percent of puzzle books that come out, it's just like it's a slog to read. And you're just sitting there like, dude, you can barely make a poem. You definitely can't, structure a paragraph. Like, it's crazy. Oh, well. I'm sorry, were you asking me the question, like what my favorite, or were you asking everybody else?
everybody.
Oh. Probably don't want to ask me. I don't pay attention. What was the question? What's your favorite ending? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what is a way, like what's a puzzle that did something great? Like something that you remember, like you're like, hey, I really like the way this puzzle or this hunt or this did, whatever aspect. I gave the example of like the ending, or like got you, they had proxies on the ground and stuff. So that their puzzle told you what the proxy was, where to find it, and then, so that was pretty cool.
I would have to think.
That annual Utah one is like that. Like where they do the barcodes and you have to figure out the clues and go somewhere else.
That's cool. I haven't done enough to even have an opinion. Like I got sucked into The Secret and
Yeah.
like just recently started branching out. So I need experience.
I had one that I did that was pretty cool. I wasn't the person coming up with the puzzle as much as I was the one facilitating it, and it was another one that Brett worked on. We had this group of, it was only about 15 searchers, right? But they were very dedicated, and one of them was this lady who had been she was like a newlywed. I guess they've been married like 2 or 3 years, I think, and they had this. You know how like when you're first together, your relationship's all exciting and shit, and you do cute things.
Yeah.
They had this cute thing, and I never figured out. I never asked how I got started, but they would hide clothespins, and that was their way to remind each other that they loved each other or something.
Yeah.
So like the husband would hide a clothespin above the sun visor in his wife's car, and she would pop it down, and it would fall. And oh, he loves me, that kind of shit. And then that was their thing. That was what they did.
Yeah.
And this chick had been working on this puzzle, and it came to an end where all 15 of these people had to get together in a physical location and actually work as a team to solve the final day of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And this chick's husband reached out to me, and he's like, I don't know how you can do it, but if at the end of this puzzle you could have a clothespin,
Aw.
That would be awesome. And he told me why, and it was like, okay, that's cool. So the end of the puzzle had these people fighting. The story was dumb, but they were trying to break communications between Russia and a Russian agent in America. And our Russian agent in America was a bartender at this place called Local Heroes, and he was a friend, so he was in on it. And he would just basically the day before he got a bunch of codes that he would just have to give out one after another anytime they would pop up. And then all around St. Augustine, my friends that were working were like my friends that had jobs downtown were doing the same thing. They were just you'd have to go into a building and someone would hand them a code, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so at the end of it, they get this box, and it's a black Sentry safe with a key, and the fun thing was 2 weeks before it, we had given one of the players a key, and it was the key to that box.
Yeah.
But then part of the puzzle, someone else had to convince that guy that he needed the key, and he did, and he got the key from that guy. So they ended up with a box, and then the guy had to explain why he gave the key away. And then in the story, he gave it to somebody, and he had to go get it back. Anyway, whatever. We met at this place called Stogie's, was where they finally decided to open up the box because that's where they got the key. And they open up the box, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of fucking clothes hangers. And the lady was just like, "What the hell?" And there was like a little note, but it was just it was a Sentry safe full of clothes hangers or clothespins.
Yeah, and she's like, "What, George? I want my damn treasure."
There's a video on
metaphor
YouTube.
about, he got some kisses that night.
Yeah.
I remember reading that.
But yeah. Oh, you read that on Reddit?
Maybe it was there. Yeah, I remember
Should have been on Reddit.
the clothespin thing. That's cool.
There's a video somewhere on one of the YouTube pages, one of the YouTube channels, of the whole thing. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was weird because there was this guy named Mark who was like the de facto leader. Like me and Rachel were with this group in St. Augustine, but they had no idea that I was working with them, and we were just acting dumb. Like we were just hanging out with these people who were like really busy solving codes and ciphers, but we were like, I can't help, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here for moral support. And occasionally they would like take a wrong turn, and I'd be like, maybe we want to go back that way. And there was this guy Mark, and he was really headstrong, and he kept leading people in the wrong direction. And like I would have to be like, maybe it's over here.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, inside this case was a letter. And he picked up the letter, and he was like, he read like a third of the letter, and then it was all like, thank you for playing and whatever. And then he got to the middle, and he was like, and yada, yada, yada. And he flipped the page, and he finished reading it. And he was like, I still don't understand how they could do this. Like, because it was obvious there were 6 or 7 people involved in making this puzzle, how they could do all this in St. Augustine. Like they had to have somebody on the ground doing it. Like who was helping him? And I was like, maybe you should read the part where you just went yada yada yada. And it was like the people who have been facilitating this puzzle are with you right now. And if they want, they can raise their hands. And I was like, hi.
Oh,
and they were like, it's the idiot guy, the guy that
kind of didn't know anything.
guy that was just sitting around drinking margaritas with his fiance. It was a lot of fun though.
Funny. Was that during the meetup? Is that the one you guys did during the meetup?
No, God, this was years ago. This was probably like 10 or more years ago.
Yeah, okay. I wish
Yeah.
we all lived together. That would be so fun to do.
I want to see the look on the people's face, like, oh, we got it. Let's open the safe. It's going to have the treasures.
Yeah, Mark, where's the key? Oh, I gave it to a guy. Who did you give it to? I don't know. It's funny.
That is too
It's full of clothes, man.
Right. Do your laundry. That's the prize.
Oh, don't even think that way.
Anyway.
It's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my favorite way someone started and someone did stuff in puzzles is Nine Inch Nails had an ARG for one of their albums. I think it was Year Zero. Like they built this entire sort of backstory about their album, and they used to just release clues to people sort of in hopes that the people would make them public to make the wider story more available. And Trent Reznor would just like go to restrooms during his concert. Like if he was at a stadium or whatever, he would just go to a urinal and drop a USB drive.
Ew.
And hope that someone picked it up and took it home and put it in their computer and then posted it online. Most of them did get posted online.
I hope it was on top of the urinal.
Ow.
I hope so too.
Hopefully
And
by
you know,
the week, I think. Now you want it near the urinal.
Kids, don't ever put random USB drives in your computer. Don't do that.
You can't do that nowadays. Back
No.
then, I guess it was more safe, but
Or at least wash your hands.
Musicians have done that a lot, though. There's an ARG still for like Pink Floyd did.
Huh.
I think it was for either Pulse or Division Bell. It was Pulse.
nice.
Nobody's ever solved it.
Well, I mean, Pink Floyd, it could have. There might need to be some extra influence to help you figure things out.
I think it was made by the record company and not Pink Floyd, because Pink Floyd doesn't. They're like, oh, we don't have anything to do with that. But still, it's unsolved. And it has been for 20, 30 years, however long Pulse has been out.
You need to put up a list of these, George. I want to check these out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. But most of them, like, they're with an ARG, as soon as they're over, nobody cares because you can't experience it anymore. And the fun's experiencing it.
Well, but if that one wasn't solved,
I don't know that that one will ever be solved. Cicada's still not solved. Feel free to work on that.
No.
That's what I wanted to do in your mind games puzzle
Yeah.
group is
Yes.
just post a random page from Cicada and be like, cipher time,
Someone-
hard mode, have fun.
I don't know. You and
You got
Chris-
some of the best minds in the world that have been working on that for like 10 years or whatever. 50 pages, only solved like 10 of them.
Maybe that is the key. Maybe it needs someone that doesn't have any idea
Yeah,
what to do it, and then they're just like, well, let's try this.
it's just a
the
bunch of
little-
rooms.
It's just a little like decoder ring from the cereal box.
yeah, I'll solve that one, and then I'll go and I'll solve Zodiac, and then I'll just go,
Zodiac got solved.
Yeah.
all of them.
Last
Mhm.
year.
All but like
Mhm.
the one that's like 10 letters. You can't really brute force it, and there's no key.
And then what
Yeah,
about
was it 346 or 4 something like that? Yeah, that was solved last like 2 years ago, maybe.
and then
It
what's
was
the
really
one-
complicated because like he used his key had multiple characters for different letters,
right?
and then in order to solve it, you had to. So everything was laid out on a big grid, and you had to split the grid up into 3 different sections, and then you had to move as if you were is it a rook in chess that moves down
Wow.
3 over 2?
Oh, for God's sake.
But I think it was
That's
down
enough,
2
I
over
think.
3.
That the knight or the bishop? That's a bishop.
Bishop, yeah. You had to move like that. So you took your first letter and then you moved down 1 over 2. And then you took that letter and then you moved down 1 over 2 and kept doing like that. But it would screw you up because like I said, the you have to split the page into 3 distinct sections, and those sections are not equal. So you're just like, he made it to where he
Yeah.
thought it would be unsolvable, and he just didn't anticipate computers. And it took a computer to solve it.
What's the one that's like on a stone tablet or some like a government type thing or something?
Kryptos,
Oh, that is Kryptos?
where 3 of the 4 have been solved.
Yeah.
So likely
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to solve the 4th because so it's at the CIA headquarters. And it's out in a courtyard that you can't access. You can't access it at all. And just beside the statue is a stone
Mhm.
on the ground, which has I forget. It's a code of some sort that gives you a location to stand in. It's like 20 feet away from the stone. It's basically without being there, like on site, which you can't do because you're not in the CIA. It's probably unsolvable.
Well, that's kind of mean.
And I mean, the dude even gave like some plain text words from the fourth panel of Kryptos, and nobody figured it out.
I guess
Somebody
that's
just
what they
posted
were
a picture of
talking
that. On the anniversary homepage, somebody they made a Morse code or it looked like a Braille cipher or something, and then somebody added a picture of that wall.
Kryptos is cool.
If you're in the
Yeah,
CIA and can stand
If
up.
you're in the CIA.
Oh, I thought, okay, was it a recruitment tool? It's rumored, right?
Kryptos? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I think it was just a sculpture.
It's in the courtyard, so you'd already have to be there. Okay.
Sunday, your husband can probably get in. Just have him take some
I was
pictures.
gonna say, let's get him up there. He could apply, then we can just,
Wrong lettered agency.
Although they did do that in that one movie with Bruce Willis and the kid, where there was some kind of puzzle in the back of a comic book, and the kid was autistic, little kid, and
The Kid?
yes,
The movie The Kid? With Bruce Willis and the kid?
No, it was not a comedy.
Oh, you're talking about not
Net-
Unbreakable. The other one, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
No, that's Sixth Sense.
No, he did it. It was another one. It wasn't it wasn't Unbreakable because that was I think it was Samuel L. Jackson side of that story. What the fuck was M. Night Shyamalan's comic book movie named?
Glass, Unbreakable.
Maybe it was Unbreakable, and
But that's not the movie I'm thinking of. The movie I'm thinking of, he's a
Mercury
cop.
Rising.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh,
Who can decipher the Eve? But that's one where the kid he does a puzzle in the back of this comic book or whatever, the newspaper, and he calls the number, and then the bad guys are like, "Oh, our code can be done," and they want to kill him. And then Bruce is Bruce, and he's awesome, and just takes him out and saves kid.
well, all right. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
If it's got Bruce in it, I watch it. Yippee ki
Are you guys doing that? Like, didn't you say you were going to do a video of instructing people how to break ciphers?
A couple hours ago, maybe.
No, I mean like you weren't you talking about a YouTube series or something where you were gonna like make videos?
No, we got invited on to Live with Code Bar, and we recorded it this past week, and so it's going to be out maybe on the 15th.
Yeah.
And so like a series through that where Robert's like teaching us, like he's picking some codes, and then we go through them and stuff.
You guys are doing it on YouTube? It's gonna be hard to do something like that via audio only.
Oh, well, I think the plan is to do, he'll release the podcast, and then we'll do like practice puzzles for anyone that's in that same cipher, for anybody that's interested in the group. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that, and I was like, shit, now I can't do it. Because I was talking to Chris about we were gonna do Cicada, basically. And we were just gonna go through and make a video on each step of Cicada.
That'd be cool.
There won't be any overlap on we don't.
But no, there will. There's a lot of like simple shit in Cicada. Like Cicada gets progressively harder.
Yeah. Well, no one.
Like in the beginning, it was real easy.
Yeah. Okay. I mean.
And then you were
Oh,
like,
was
we
it?
got to make a computer server and wait for this time for it to ping and download an image.
No, you guys. I mean, there's not. No, I think no. I mean, what we're doing with Robert is Robert's just picking some codes and some ciphers, and we're going through them. And the first one was a historical cipher. So I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, I doubt.
A historical cipher?
Yeah, it was really cool. It's a good one. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could talk about like which one he picked. Oh, Ogum? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ogum.
Spikes, lines, pointing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I
Visual,
had
a very
heard of it either,
visual.
Yes, but I really liked it. I liked the story, and we kind of likened it to. Well, yeah, never mind. You got to listen to the podcast live from the Code Bar. 15.
Cool.
But yeah,
That
I
does not
mean,
sound very beginner.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
like a substitution
It-
cipher. It sounds pretty
it
easy.
is. Yeah, it's
Is
a
it-
substitution cipher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to make a really complicated puzzle look easy when it has symbols, just assign the symbols letters. Take each symbol and assign it a letter, and then work with the letters, because that's basically all you're doing. Like the symbols and the drawings or whatever just make shit look more complicated than it is. So if you're ever like, if you ever, especially if you have something with symbols and it just looks like it's way over your head, just take each symbol and give it a letter. And then you'll start noticing like the same symbol is used more than once. So each time give it the same letter. You see what I'm saying? And you'll figure out real quick that it's just like everything else. It's pretty easy to break that way. I mean, that's the way you really got to do it anyway. So you can do the frequency analysis and stuff. But
I like those. Those are kind of like the ones in the newspaper or whatever. The quick quips, quick crips.
cryptogram or crypto, whatever. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's like just a simple substitution, but they put the spaces. So you start with like small words and stuff like that. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of a lot of like what you've been talking about is that process, just with a different presentation, I guess. Yeah. I like those. I forget what they're called though. I think it is quick, or in some places, quick cryptograms, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, Phil, I don't think there's going to be any conflict of interest with you guys doing your separate thing with.
Well, so like cicada, people have in their head that it's this hugely complicated thing, and it is. It got to that point.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was really easy.
Yeah.
And it was very beginner friendly, and the brilliant thing about cicada was it taught you as you went along.
That's
pretty cool.
nice.
Right? It taught you how to do shit. Not in like, it didn't give you instruction, but it sort of forced you to learn on your own this one thing, and then the second thing built on that one thing, and then it
Nice.
ultimately you were legitimately like building servers that sat in a closet waiting for commands.
Wow. That sounds pretty valuable. You guys should do that for sure.
Finding the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see who just said hi. I can't see the name. But if anyone, I'm not just anyone that's listening or watching this or whatever, if anybody wants to be a co-host for the head-to-head coming up on the 23rd, I'll be by myself. I'll be all by myself this time. So it would be super easy jobs. It would be like, starting a timer or just keeping an eye out, and calling out somebody's name when they like raise their hand or their paper or whatever. If anybody wants to do that, then please let me know.
Do I need to be there on the 23rd?
If you want to. Do you want to do the call George again? That was fun. Or you could be my co-host.
Well, wasn't I supposed to judge something?
You could be Vanna White. Yes, that is a separate thing. That's the Puzzle Writers Workshop.
Oh yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Right.
and y'all just.
I was just making sure I didn't lock myself into something.
But if you want to sign up for both, yes, you could be my Vanna White.
I have to wear a formal
That's just the letter A.
on the 23rd.
I say, wear a pretty dress.
I have
I got
to
dresses.
get a fundraiser. I have to I still have to get a dress, and I they won't let me wear a t-shirt and jeans.
How rude.
So I don't know. Although maybe I could use it as an excuse. Sunday needs me. I'm sorry, I cannot go.
Well, no, you can't. You might be on a contestant.
I've got I honestly have a fundraiser, a formal.
Oh, on that night.
Formal.
Yes.
Formal. Because I'm so formal. Dress wear.
Okay,
That
hold
night.
on, let me look. What is that? That's the
23rd.
yeah. I could move it to the 24th, the Sunday.
And I could just stay in my dress overnight and be like,
Yeah.
Like I woke up like this.
That's right. If you do, like, if you're a contestant, I'll make that an option, I guess, for the Sunday if you want.
yeah, I'm definitely not going to be available Saturday because I think it starts at 7 or 6:30, goes till midnight. And since I don't know how to dress myself or do hair and makeup, I'm going to be doing that the entire day up until that point.
Yeah. So somebody's gonna win a seat in the head-to-head challenge via Josh's puzzle, the Goonies Adventures. So there's a seat up for grabs.
It'll be fun to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Goonies live or die. Never say die. Speaking of which, my friend just texted me about that thing. That's weird. I'm sorry, it's Diva's night out because I'm a diva. And I'm not wearing pink. I'm sorry. Pretty in pink is just not going to happen. But I'll make George go instead of me.
I like pink.
Yes.
Put you in a dress.
Very
He's
excited.
already got
Fun.
a dress. He's ready.
I am a very pretty girl.
All right, guys.
I don't
No,
know if you're
girl.
aware, Evie, but it's 2024 and gender is fluid. So,
Oh, no, you could totally. I would go for it. I am.
dude, I could rock a she, her.
You know what? I could totally dress you up with all my costumes up. It's when I have to do stuff for myself.
Yeah.
No, I'll pass. Hard pass. Dressing like an adult, hard pass.
Kathy wants to know, do you at least get a fancy dinner?
It's a great question. I better. Lord knows I won't be hitting the alcohol.
Hey, guys,
Although-
tell us something to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you
Oh, you know what they're going to want to do.
what?
Ask a question.
How's
my
the
show.
anniversary on
What
Sunday?
did they ask me? They can't ask, like, you can ask me about my games.
I think we should have your husband on one night to talk about NASA stuff or give us a tour of NASA. Just saying. Get the engineer. I mean, that's just cool.
You feel like, what do you want me to do?
I don't
Tell
know.
them stuff. All right.
Secret space stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys, mind games, guys, in the comments. Tell us what do you want to talk about? What do you want to know? How many are going to be in the head-to-head challenge? I also want to know that, Kathy. And this is the problem. It's not a problem, but this is the thing. So I am solo because, like, Corey's taking a break, and so I've already got, like, it mostly filled, so that's not the problem or anything like that. But, like, how do you know where to draw the line? The first time around, it was pretty easy because there was a pretty big break. Like, there was a set of folks that had pretty close point totals, and then there was a pretty big gap, and then and then another set that were close. So I don't know, probably 5, maybe, I'm gonna say, but don't hold me to that.
No squirrels this time.
No squirrels. I don't know if there's gonna be, like, rounds either, because I don't know, like, do there need to be rounds? Could there just be, I don't know. I might have to call George and ask him.
Look
Be
at
like,
his face just goes, what?
Yeah, Well, I can't
I'm
ask
sorry.
you guys because you might be in it, so I can't ask you. So- So.
I'm sorry. I'm just dreading my stream tomorrow where I have to tell people where they went wrong on a puzzle.
Oh, because
Oh,
It's
we're all
cool.
excited.
As long as it's not right at the beginning, you can't do it right at the beginning. Like the first step is, oh, you're wrong. You messed up here. You didn't even look at this right. That would be bad.
Well, I think everybody thinks that I'm just going to give away a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm smarter than that.
Yeah, we know better. We know
The
better than
energy
that.
will be good. Fresh blood.
Like, I feel like it's either a blessing or a curse for you guys because they're both looking at Anderson, and I know so much about that city that if it's not an Anderson, it's really going to look like it's an Anderson. Just because I can be like, I don't even think that building was there.
I think at this point we all know a whole lot about Anderson.
It's a fun city.
I found, you know how you love Skins so much, which just disturbs me to no end.
Why?
The name.
It's
I
just
guess.
the name, just ew.
It was his name.
I understand that. I didn't say you made the name. But there's another hot dog stand that I found somewhere at some point that I sent to Sunday. See, that looks cool. I think it's I don't know. And maybe I'm thinking the other place I found, but if you picture dancing hot dogs and murals on sides of buildings, kind of in the middle of nowhere by a train track. That's the other place I found.
In Anderson?
I don't remember. Where did I find that Sunday?
I was going to say, there's not a hot dog place in Anderson that's not Skins. That place is like a staple. It's a community center.
I think it's Roundabouts Anderson.
Dude had the coolest name in the world, Skin Thrasher. Like, what? I want that name.
Sounds like a shark.
Sounds like a
Right? Coolest name in the world.
Okay. If you think so.
You don't think so? You don't think Skin Thrasher is the coolest name in the world?
It sounds like a fluffer.
Sounds like a fluffer. Sounds like an axe murderer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, skinning a hot dog vibes.
Skins was my grandfather's favorite. It's everybody's
I mean, I
favorite.
would still try
It's the
it.
best.
Um,
And you just like, you don't even order hot dogs when you go in there. You're just like 2 all the way. And they're like, okay. And like, give me $3, please. Oh, all right.
I'm going to have to look through my messages this Sunday and find the name of it, because if I remember, it was pretty, I don't know.
It's probably like Hot Diggity Dog. They're all called Hot Diggity Dog
Oh,
because they're not blessed with the name Skin Thrasher.
I mean, and that's their given name or like a nickname, because
That was his name. I guess. I don't know. It's what when he was alive, if you didn't call him Skin, we have problems.
There was thrashing.
I mean, parents name their kids much worse things. At least it like went with the last name in a way.
Yeah.
Here you go. Was that it, Evie?
No,
Were there 2 skins
it
there
definitely
at
wasn't
one
called.
point?
Huh?
Did they change
there
locations
what?
or something? 2 of those.
Who?
Skins.
Skins?
Yeah.
Oh God, there's
But I mean in Anderson.
there's at least 2 in Anderson. I think there's 3, but I'm not sure. But then there's some in like Greenville. They're all over. There's a bunch of them. I don't know anymore because they could have closed them. I know there's at least 2 in Anderson. There's
I found
there's
it.
the one on McDuffie, I think, and then there's the one by the old theater that I always go to on Clemson Boulevard. I
It
want to
is
say there's
called-
another one.
Evie.
Well, no, because I'm just having all this. This was not an ambient find, believe it or not. Bite Me Wieners with a Z.
With the Z. That makes all the difference.
Bite dash.
Got to name it.
Wieners. And it is an Anderson. Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh, George Post.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
it
have
looks
boycott
fun.
all the places. Screw it.
What?
They probably have like hipster hot dogs and stuff.
No, this is
No.
What is a hipster
Skins.
hot dog?
this is the gimme the number
Oh,
one.
it's like on a brioche bun and shit, and then you get like lotus flowers or whatever and put on. You never seen like trendy hot dogs where they have garlic aioli or whatever? No, it's just pork. Fuck it, look, pork hot dog. Put it on a bun. Put some cheese on it, or not cheese, chili on it, and mustard, and that's it. And maybe some onions. You know, put jalapenos and shit. It's the kind of place that puts ketchup on hot dogs.
Oh, this is not. This is not a fancy place. Trust me.
What is
It
it
does
called?
have-
Bite Me Wieners?
Bite Me Wieners. That it has murals all around
Hot
the
dog
building.
restaurant. Anderson, South Carolina.
Here.
Proud to serve Sabrett.
Kathy
Yeah,
says,
I'm there now.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Just an
Uh,
overall great experience, says Brian C.
Oh yeah, I mean, 41.
These don't even
East
look
and
good.
South City. Hey, you know,
No.
it was fun.
Screw these people.
What is it
Staff
called?
is super friendly. That's not what you want.
But not all the reviews say that.
You want the staff to yell at you.
What do you want?
Give me a hot dog.
It's on 81. It's one of those yeah. I can if it's on 81, I can guarantee you it's a hipster hot dog place.
I'm like hearing every the other word.
We're
I have
not
no idea.
81. What's it by? Let's map. Now I'm like angry.
What? Every other word is not giving me context here.
What?
Like I'm only hearing every other word you say, so I'm like, I have no idea what.
Oh, my
I
bad.
heard
I'm just
pig.
angry that there's a hot dog place.
That you haven't eaten it.
No, just that exists. It should not exist.
You can't have a
It-
monopoly on hot dogs.
You can. Where's this
Wow.
place at? Oh, it's next to Master. Oh yeah, Bite Me Wieners. Just from where it's at,
though.
it's a hipster
I mean,
place.
come on. It's a what place?
It's a hipster restaurant, and they deserve to go down.
How is that a hipster restaurant?
It just is, man. It's the area of
has, like,
town.
It's across. It's like right by the railroad tracks. It used to be
Yeah.
a gas station.
Yep.
You either get one hot dog or two hot dogs with all the stuff on it.
Yeah.
Which is
Screw that
aioli
place.
and on a brioche bun.
We're selling.
No,
Yes.
Gingerbread.
They probably have
if that's what you
fries.
call hipster, you've never been to Ann Arbor, Michigan, which you've never been to Michigan, so I guess that's a safe bet.
South Carolina's weird. They keep things weird, but yeah, I would call this. I don't care. I just don't want it. I don't want it in my hometown. We should boycott. Boycott Bite
You
Me
don't want a
Wieners.
place. You don't want a place with murals on the side of hot dogs fishing in a boat in the lake
No,
and up in
there should be
hot
no
air
art
balloon.
with your hot dogs. You should walk into the building. It should look like it was constructed in 1962 and be staffed by just freshmen in high school putting hot dogs in bags. That's the only thing that is acceptable.
No, I want the old lady yelling
No.
at me, throwing my hot dogs at me,
No.
making the chili that has questionable ingredients in it. No
Barely
beans,
passed the health inspection.
but did pass.
Right.
They used
And that's
to,
how you-
Skins used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to cook their hot dogs in Old Milwaukee. Like they would boil it in Old Milwaukee. So the cooks were all like high school kids and they would just sit in the back and drink the Old Milwaukee. Not the ones that they boiled the wieners in, obviously, but they would have kids. They would just sit in the back and drink, just get cash. But it's fun because like you get drunk as you want and still boil a hot dog.
Well, Well, and the smell would be everywhere, so it's not like you can
Yes,
say it's
that's
from the
true.
kids. It could just be from the boiling of the hot dogs.
It
and
smells like
spillage.
1970. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
I'm
funny.
very upset now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sunday was laughing her ass off at all the stuff I was sitting around like, what is this? This is so weird, but it's a great name. George would love a place called Bite Me Wieners
No, fuck that
with
place.
some creepy hot dog dude all over the place, you know?
It sounds like it would be ran by a weird leprechaun. Bite me wieners.
Who owns it? Let's
Oh.
find out who owns it. I bet I know who owns it.
Side of Lucky
Do they have an
Charms.
About Me?
They put out-
I don't know. This
Designed
is
by
from
Monkey Butt Media.
our Bite Me Wieners. I think I did say that Sunday. I think I was making fun of
like
you.
a pirate.
I think I was. Did I
Arg.
torture you that Sunday, or was I just typing out stuff and saying it sounds funny?
Oh, God, I can prove my point.
Oh my
I can
God.
prove my point. I can
You just
prove my
can't let me
point.
be right about anything, George.
Hipster place. Bite Me hot dogs wiener menu. Toppings. You can add up to 5. Onions. Acceptable. Coleslaw. Relish. Acceptable. Shredded cheese. No. Ketchup. Yellow mustard, spicy mustard. That's okay. Mayonnaise on a hot
Yeah,
dog?
that's-
Like, no, that's hipster. Hot sauce. Sabrettes, onions and sauce, a pickle spear. We are not in Chicago. And jalapenos. And I rest my case. Hipster.
You need to come to Michigan, come to Detroit, and have some of our Coney Island hot dogs. Just saying, George, you don't know what you're talking about.
You need to go to Anderson and have
It's
skins. Then come back and talk to me about some Coney Island hot dogs in Michigan. You know where you go to
No.
have Coney Island hot dogs? Coney Island.
Yeah, but
This
Detroit,
is-
you get that
this
little
is what the
extra
stream has
oomph
become.
flavor in it.
Yeah, this is the hot dog stream.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Hot dogs must contain only pork, no chicken.
Was it
Beef
Cold
is fine.
Kogels? Nathan's hot dogs.
Yeah, me and Rachel ate there. It was good.
Although I cannot watch Joey Chestnut. That's his name?
Yeah.
I can't watch the hot dog eating. That's just nasty.
Oh God.
They chunk it
So
in the
gross.
water. Yeah.
It's just. It's
We
like
went out
42 or
to
52. Where the hell you putting those, man?
we went out to Nathan's in Coney Island. It was me, Rachel, Nicole, or Caroline and Nick, Bradley, and Jason Olsen and his wife. And whenever me and Bradley went out, Bradley had this thing where he wanted to try everything. Like he wouldn't eat it all by any stretch of the imagination, but he would order basically the entire menu, and we would just put it all out on the table and just eat everything. So I can say I got to try just about everything at Nathan's, and it was all, not great. It was okay.
The old Tiger Stadium, the way they would. I don't even know what they made their hot dogs in when they'd walk around. They're supposed to be boiled. I don't know how old that water was, but it was really good. But I don't even want to know. And by the way, Rachel says that she grew up eating mayo on her hot dogs, and she's from around there.
Oh, Rachel is gross.
She wants to know if you ever ate at Tanner's.
I don't remember Tanner's.
Rachel's the
Oh.
orange drink the same as McDonald's orange drink?
I'm gonna look it up.
And Lindsay
Linda
wants to know
Tanner.
how the skins compare to the varsity.
It's better. It's better. Like the varsity's got other shit going for it. Like it's got the orange cream. Jesus Christ, when did I become the fast food expert?
The hot dog street.
When you tortured us with these puzzles that everywhere we look, it's surrounded by freaking food places. Just saying.
When you told us to
Yeah.
savor the
That's not
moment,
his
that's
fault.
when it happened.
Savor the hot dog. That's what you need to do.
Uh,
We should have a meetup in Anderson and just all go get skins.
Okay.
There's quite
It's
a few
like
restaurants.
it's weird because like I admittedly skins is not great. But it's something that you grow up with, right?
Mhm.
So it's like your childhood. So every time you taste it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm 7 again.
Hey, George, by the way, my first job was at Hardee's.
That's cool. Hardee's is yummy. I only ever got one thing there, or 2 things there.
Josh wants to know if any of us have worked on the most recent Masquerade mini hunt.
The crossword or the wolf one?
I don't know.
Because yes to both, and I have nothing.
I didn't get invited to do a mini hunt this year, but I think I screwed myself out of it.
She said that we'd be on the list. We got an official, like, we're on the list for next year. Mind Games is, so that's really exciting. And she said she was just trying to really streamline stuff. And
Well, she asked me last year. She was like, "That game that you did was amazing. Will you make another one for next year?" And in my mind, she was asking me if I would make another video game for next year. And I was like, "I don't think so. Like, I've already done it once. There's, no point in making another game." And then I read back her message, and I read like she was asking if I would do another game, like another puzzle. And I was just like, "Nah."
The video game was cool.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, "No, I did it once. It's fine. I got nothing out of it."
Yeah, you'll probably want to let her know.
Yeah. Sorry,
Her-
Jenny.
Her cipher book is awesome, though.
Yeah.
Lisa gets
Jenny
to
is
me, and, like,
smart.
it's
That's
really
right.
awesome.
Learn
She's
stuff.
amazing.
Do you know, like like Jenny introduced me to something that has occupied my brain way more than it should have. Because I did because she does those 6 questions, but nobody had ever done one with her. So I was like, let me do a 6 questions with Jenny. And I asked her what her top puzzle is, right? And she told me about this game that was played in like olden times. Like, you can't even say the Middle Ages because it was played before the Middle Ages. It was played in like biblical times and prior. And it's this game where they etched this playing field out into concrete, like on the ground. And it's all over places. There's one in the Colosseum. Any major old ancient building that you go to is going to have one of these playing fields etched into the concrete. And nobody knows how to play this game. Like, the rules weren't written down. You kind of have an idea of how to play it because of descriptions and various texts, but nobody knows the rules. And that's her favorite puzzle, is figuring out how, like, what this game was called, because nobody knows what it was called, and nobody knows how it was played.
Wow. That's really
And I've
cool.
done way more research into that.
So there's not even a way to make sure you're right.
No,
Oh.
it
Which are
looks
the best
like
puzzles.
it's kind of similar to another like war type game, almost like chess. It's not like chess, but that's the easiest way to describe the process of playing the game.
Yeah.
So people think it's sort of similar in rules to that game, but nobody's really sure.
Wow.
That's cool.
And it's not like I can tell you like the name of it so you can go research it, because it doesn't have a name.
Etching
Yeah,
is on
that's
the
what Kathy
floor.
just said. Wow, that's really cool. That's cooler than anything that I have going.
Yeah. Jenny's she's super sweet. Everything she does is for charity, and she's an amazing woman.
She really is.
Yeah.
She's invented like 6 different games or something.
And she makes puzzles all the time. Like,
Yeah.
she has like a daily
Oh
puzzle.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wish like her, because Mysterious Writings, I guess the community didn't take off in the way that I imagine it would have, because it's really a collection of everything. I really wish it had taken off more. Instead of like Quest for Treasure, people trying to get into Quest for Treasure, people just go to her, go to
Yeah.
Mysterious Writings and talk there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went into the secret thread on the Quest for Treasures forum and Discord, and it's like dead.
Yeah.
There's nobody there. I was like, well, that's sad. Because she deserves people. Anyway.
Yeah, because she has everything. She has everything. She has covered everything. Like, she is the one-stop shop for like
Yeah.
everything.
Yep.
You want a new puzzle, you want to learn about puzzles, you want ratings for puzzles, you want to, I mean, she's got everything.
And she's got an encyclopedic knowledge of that stuff too. Like, just ask her questions and she's on her game. It's not like, most people like if I, like when me and Robert did Code Bar episodes about a puzzle that we really don't like know how to solve the puzzle. We don't, she knows.
Yeah.
And she explains things in normal words.
Yeah.
Easy to understand.
Oh. Do you still have people talking?
We talked about hot dogs for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Josh, you want to tell us what puzzle? What is the Masquerade mini puzzle right now? The current one.
Samantha's got one. It's a crossword, and I have no idea. And then, What the Art of Hidden Messages released another wolf puzzle.
Ashley, I'll help you on stuff. You know that.
Yeah, I'll
Just
have to reach out.
if I sign up for anything, it's solved in about 2 minutes. Not by me. It'll be 2 minutes after I get it. Somebody else will solve it before I get to look at it. So you don't want me to jinx it.
Have you looked at it?
I think I looked at the first couple or something, and they just kind of go. So I have not gotten in the car.
Well, this is the second one that Samantha's done, and the first one was a little bit easier, and this crossword puzzle is like, I got nothing.
I love crossword puzzles. Hot dog puzzle. Name your hot dogs. Get your hot dogs.
Yeah, I haven't even had
your stuff on
look
it.
at any other puzzle. I haven't even
The hot dog puzzle, no matter what the cipher is, playtext is always skins is the best.
You have hot dogs doing different poses.
You know what you guys should do in mind games or whatever? You guys should make a puzzle team. You got enough people who like make puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
You should just make a team and then challenge all of the other big teams, which aren't really that big, but challenge them.
What do you mean the big teams?
Well, there's a lot of like bitching and moaning in the puzzle community that puzzles get solved by big teams of really good puzzle solvers. Like if you watch Mysterious Writings, when she announces the winner of puzzles, like 75% of the time it's one of like two teams, but it's not that these are like huge teams. They're just couple 4 or 5 people that work really well together, so if you put 4 or 5 people together on a team, you could challenge them.
Well, that Who Killed Icky Hunt or whatever it was.
Yeah, you guys did teams.
It took us. We were like, I think we took 50th or 55th place, and we did it in 2 or 3 hours. I don't remember exactly, but the team that got it done first, it was like a half hour or an hour. It was like,
what
how many
team was
people did you have working on this stuff? Because you had to look in the book and you like there was stuff that. Now, mind you, the one that I picked right off the bat, I picked the one that was type anything for the answer. Literally, type anything. I'm like, answered my question already, guys. But I mean,
what team solved it?
I don't even know the
Team
names
Skins.
on the team.
Huh?
Skins.
Team
Hot
Skins.
Skins.
I don't know.
They're the
who it was.
best.
Yeah.
They're the best. You can't beat them. No way.
I don't know, but it was. I mean, the time for I don't even know how they clicked on everything in the time that I do.
Just organized. Each person has a role. Each person does their role.
It took me until the next day to figure that one puzzle out with the groupings or whatever, the pictures and the categories.
Oh, the one with all the lines that was hard to follow. I don't know. It's like there was something that was just like. Well, the thing was, you didn't have to solve all the puzzles to solve to win it either. I don't know if they did or not. But there
Are any of you on a team?
I think we have more like collaborative teams going. Like we're building a lot of stuff. I know there are a lot of teams building stuff. I wish I would have done that, Iggy. But I didn't think I was going to have time. And then the day that it actually happened, I did have time, but it was already, like, and they had some pretty strict rules with 6 people and stuff. So, but,
Or so we thought.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how 6 people, only 6 people. I don't know. It was really fast.
I don't know. I mean, if you get a team of people who are good at different things,
Yeah.
right? That's the important part in a team, not necessarily friends, working together or whatever, but it's people who are good at different things. Like if you got a person that's really good at spotting puzzles, like picking out a puzzle, then an entire book that has a puzzle isn't hard for you because you've got a guy that's good at picking out what's important. You got a person that's good at ciphers. You got a person that's good at wordplay. You got a person that's good at X, Y, and Z. Like it becomes way easier.
Yeah. I think it was, I think first place got 20 or 25,000.
Man, that'd be.
So, I mean,
It was a $25,000 puzzle that was solved in a half hour.
I'll look it up.
The whole thing was, yeah. It was a book publisher, like a book.
You didn't
promo.
have to actually read the book.
The guy that did the puzzle pints, he's the one that did it. So yeah, his puzzles. I worked the practice ones. I really liked his style. And
Yeah. The practice ones
were nothing even close to, yeah. I'm sure.
not except for mine were type in the word anything.
Yeah.
That was about it.
It's gotta suck for a puzzle creator.
Yeah.
To put out a book and spend all that money and it gets solved in a half hour.
Well, the book was like a 1,000-page book. It had nothing to do with puzzles. It was just the publisher wanted to promote the book, and so they did this $50,000 puzzle, and they got the puzzling pint guy to basically create it. And then, so Josh says he didn't really like it.
Okay, 35 minutes, 38 seconds.
Nice.
Second place, 35
Yeah, that's
minutes,
crazy.
59 seconds. 38 minutes, 43 minutes, 46 minutes. Like the top 10 were under an hour.
They
That's
probably
all.
didn't cheat then, because if they're all that close, like the times are pretty close, unless they all cheated.
Well, I mean, if you've got a whole room full of people,
Yeah.
it's you only had you didn't have to have everybody logged in answer. You could only do 3 puzzles, I think, at a time out
Yeah.
of the 6 or whatever per
Yeah.
level.
And then they would
Yeah.
unlock.
So if you've got a whole room full of people, you get a nice college dorm in the room, and you pull one up, throw it on a big screen, and people are like,
Yeah.
Josh
not
is very
saying-
adamant that he did like the puzzle though.
I don't know. I don't have a team because I don't have a particular skill set.
yeah, I'm not Liam Neeson.
I try hard. That's my.
It's weird because my skill set's valuable,
Yes,
but it's not wanted. It's not desired. Because I can the good thing about me is I can break your puzzle. Like I can break it, just destroy it, find your weakness, then we can exploit the weakness. But that's technically considered, like, a lot of people are like, well, that's cheating. I don't think it's cheating, but whatever. So I don't know.
You're there to crush the spirit.
Yeah,
I will
that's what I'm good at.
Smack.
It's like, well, I mean, it's just like with the Golden Apple Tail and with another one of the Reddit puzzles. They were both done anonymously, and were able to just break them apart and figure out who did them. Like that's the kind of shit that I can do. Though, like the Golden Apple Tail wasn't just me. There was several people involved in that one, but that's not really a trait that teams are like, I want that.
I would think it'd be good. Somebody who can pull things apart in general. Look at it from you could either help solve a puzzle or.
Well, it depends. Do you like working on puzzles? Because most teams like working on puzzles, and somebody like me just destroys them, and you no longer have to work on them. Like
Well-
it's like I'm lazy, so I find the easiest way out.
But if the goal is to solve the puzzle and you're solving the puzzle,
By breaking it.
then it shouldn't be breakable.
George could figure out what you did on the third Sunday of September when you were in 5th grade. What is
My Atari 2600, it'd be real hard to figure that out.
if you were in Anderson, you were likely in church.
Church smirch.
That's the big thing in Anderson. Church. Church is everywhere.
I had hippie mom. There was no church.
Dude, I went to church twice Sunday, on Wednesday. Church.
I wouldn't have been able to sit still that long. My ADHD would have, I don't know, probably try to do exorcism on me or something.
I rebelled and grew into me.
See, it's what
The
happens.
crusher of dreams.
Yeah. And puzzles.
Everything.
And puzzle. Eater of
Rachel
skins.
said everything's still closed on Sundays. We figured that out during our trip. Yeah.
But that is nice. I mean, I
Is it though?
days
Is it?
when everything was closed on Sundays and it was family time. And
No.
what do you mean no?
No, it's not fun when you need Tide, but you can't do laundry because everything's closed.
Back then, you just grab some dirt, rub it in, and it all.
Or the thing that I hated is, so in Anderson they're called blue laws, and it meant that everything shut down at midnight on Saturday, and it didn't open again until generally like 5 o'clock on Sunday, right? And you couldn't buy alcohol from noon on Saturday until Monday morning. Like that sucked so bad because you had to pre-plan, and nobody pre-plans.
You don't pre-plan.
The problem was
pre-plan
gas
your
stations
high
being closed. That would mess you up.
Yeah, gas stations. They weren't generally closed. What they did was they took these long bars and they put them through the handles of the liquor, like where you would buy alcohol. So you just couldn't open the doors.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm talking back.
Oh,
When everything would be closed on a Sunday and like gas stations wouldn't be, like nothing was open. You probably also had a guy that would come out and pump your gas then too.
I
'cause
didn't.
all this dirt.
I wasn't alive then.
Sorry. I admit I'm an elder.
You're not older. Like we're the same age, aren't we?
Ashley, would you like to inform him of how old I am?
No, you're not. Women are not supposed to do that.
I don't care. I act like a 12-year-old.
How old am I? I'm
Art jokes.
43. That sound right?
Add another 10, honey.
Oh,
I turned 54 on September 11th this year.
oh, I'll never forget that.
Oh. Nobody does now.
Mhm.
Jason's birthday is December 7th. And he likes to wake up on his birthday and he's like, my birth, the day that lives in infamy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. When you go to get your prescription, they ask you for your birthday and you say it, and they just go, oh, I'm sorry.
Like, sorry, I was born. Yeah, me too. Sucks. It's a curse I did not ask for.
Oh, yeah, that would be. Ashley got booted off.
Yeah,
She
she
just-
said her audio and technology were like.
She was just like, skins. What the hell? I'm getting out of here.
No, she was having audio issues, and then it just legit kicked her off. You're there, the baby learned how to crawl real quick and unplug the Wi-Fi.
She's like, call me back when we start talking hot dogs again.
But yeah, I don't think I still have it, but I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember the Scholastic Books order forms, and they'd come in and you could order Dynamite, that magazine. I remember when it had, yeah, I know.
I was like, Scholastic Book Fair, I'm right along with you. Dynamite. I don't know.
It was like, it was a magazine, but it had all sorts of stuff in it. But like, I remember, I'm pretty sure I remember it having Masquerade in it.
Maybe.
Like articles about that. Like it was like a kid's version of, oh my gosh, I have one somewhere, I think. Not like Teen Beat or something. It had, what are the hide and seek magazines? Highlights?
Highlights.
Yeah.
But not all puzzles. Like it had articles, but it was elementary and middle school level stuff.
Hmm.
Kathy
But I
Vale's
remember
birthday.
also it had to have been Masquerade that was in it. But
Kathy
I'm
Vale's
sorry.
birthday is on Christmas. She's the third coming of Christ.
my husband's is 2 days after Christmas, and he's like the forgotten child. Because a nephew was born on his birthday. There's a niece that was the day before. Like, so, he's, middle child, no attention.
So I don't know why, but this just popped into my head. Two very, very blasphemous things.
Oh, this
So,
again.
if you're religious, maybe don't listen. But one of my favorite books, and I try to pimp this book to everybody I can because it's just the best book in the world. It's called Biff, Christ's unknown childhood best friend. Hang on, let me look at the title.
Biff?
Biff.
Okay.
The book is called Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood pal. And what it does is, like, in the Bible, you know the story of like Jesus until he was like 5 or something, and then he vanishes until he's like 32 or 30 or something like that. Yeah. And this tells the story of what happens in between there. And it's really, really, like, the stuff that's in it's crazy good. It talks about how Jesus lived in a cave on the side of a mountain. And one time, in order to be pure, Jesus couldn't have sex. So he had Biff hire a prostitute and have sex with a prostitute and then to describe to Jesus what it was like. Crazy good book. You should all go out and read Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood pal.
Okay.
This is bro.
Like, you think it's a blasphemous, but it was not. It's it's a nice book. It's good. It has a good moral to the story.
I just, okay. I'm just wait till I tell you, sense of humor of a 12-year-old boy.
So the second thing that was blasphemous that popped into my mind when we were talking about things. So me and Destiny really like going to like death metal concerts. And we like this band called Behemoth. And Behemoth is celebrating their 33rd anniversary this year. And Jesus died when he was 32. Now Behemoth is a very blasphemous band. They're a horribly amazing band that I love. So on their 33rd anniversary, they decided to release an album, and they called it Outliving Christ. So yeah, this is gonna get demonetized or whatever.
George, not that I will ever probably make that milestone anyway, but
sorry, I'll stop talking about controversial stuff now. Unless you want me to be blasphemous.
Oh, I'm fine. Just so you guys know, I pulled up the dynamite thing on Wikipedia and sent it to both of you, so you know I'm not talking out my ass totally.
Okay, thank you.
We can pull up quotes from Biff.
Just the Biff name is just throwing me off. Let's see. So Dynamite ran from March 1974 to March 1992.
Oh. So I did look up quotes from Lamb, and the first quote is, "Nobody's perfect. Well, there was this one guy, but we killed him."
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, side note, don't forget, guys, our clocks spring forward tonight, because, yeah.
Do they?
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
Time change already.
Oh, shit.
TikTok. Doesn't matter to me, because I don't have to go in there. You want more quotes, George?
Oh, okay. It's wildly irritating to have invented something as revolutionary as sarcasm only to have it abused by amateurs.
That's a given.
Children are magic because they look for it.
That's
Blessed
too-
are the dumb fucks.
That's a good one. I will accept that one. Oh, he's laughing before he even tells us. This should be good.
So Josh says, "What is this thing?" And a Gasper replies, "It's a Yeti, an abominable snowman." And Biff says, "Is that what happens when you fuck a sheep?" And then Jesus says, "Not an abomination, abominable."
Oh,
Okay.
So everybody read that book.
I think my son would definitely be laughing his ass off. Although he probably wouldn't open it because he's not really into religion, so he would just bypass it and not get the true joy and message out of it.
Here's another one. Buddhism. It's very difficult to stay angry when a room full of bald guys in orange robes start giggling.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm done. I've made your show evil. Is this where you wanted to go when you were talking about ciphers, by the way? You
Yes.
should probably stop sending me the link to these.
No, we're just hanging out. We didn't really have like anything planned. So hey, it just goes where it goes. Hot Rachel. Hot dogs and Jesus.
It's Anderson. That should be Anderson's, like, when you drive in, it should say, "Welcome to Anderson. Hot dogs and Jesus."
Oh, okay. Let's. We got a hard hitting question here from Josh.
None. I don't know. How many have I solved Sunday?
you've got some weird ones, like the ones that have a billion numbers in it.
solved
or
some
something.
because let's see, you had a bunch of points at one time, and you're like, don't.
Yeah, I was like, just give them all away to the people that solved the cipher.
Yeah.
It was ciphers
you
with lots of
I'm
numbers.
thinking you've solved at least 3, maybe 4 of them.
I solved one of Samantha's. That was fun. But I kind of cheated on that one because I recognized the photo.
Oh yeah, that
Which
was
one was that?
yeah. I mean, I think we all recognize that photo. That was really cool.
Yeah. I just saw it and I was like, "Oh, I know that. That's cocaine." That's basically what I thought. Okay, it fit, and I solved the puzzle.
Now I gotta look up this picture because
It was one of those, not necessarily fuzzy logic, because I don't like those. But it was like she would give you like a description of something, and then it was on an image, and you would have to figure out who she was talking about. And I forget it was something about a guy guarded by a little friend or something, and it was a picture of a stairwell, and it was the stairwell from Scarface.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now." And then, like, when Corey first did his, I think a lot of my points came from Corey's first, when we did that stream where he did his first fuzzy logic thing.
Yeah,
And I was just like, Neil Gaiman. And
yeah. Corey's puzzles are really good. I'll be excited when he's back around and stuff. So
I don't know.
I'm gonna enter one of his. Huh?
Are we allowed to talk about those? Like, am I the only one that thinks one game, or not, the fuzzy logic is just like a guessing game?
I mean, I wouldn't say you're the only one.
Oh. It's fun though. People are involved.
I like them.
People are
It's the
crazy
visual.
involved. Like, there's 700 guesses on one of them one time. And
That's not a good example to use though.
Well, there's 500, 350, 700, and then like some of them, most of them I think are like in the 40s. 60s.
I mean, Ashley's might have hit 100 today, maybe. I don't know.
I think they're fun,
Yeah, I think they're fun too. I mean,
but like, it's hard for me to work on them because I'm like, all right, there's a pattern or something. No, there's not. You just got to figure out the association or whatever. Like, oh, okay, well, okay.
You try to zoom in on the characters in the back or whatever, and it just ends up being blobby things with 12 fingers on each hand.
It's AI.
The hand
Why-
thing just creepy.
Why does that guy have 6 fingers? Is that a hint to
And
the
one's
Princess
going-
Bride? No, it's not. It's AI.
There you go. Yeah, some of them are just like the
Anal
what AI
bum
does to
covers?
humans is bad.
I dare you to put Ashley's last comment as a pinned comment on this stream.
Okay,
What?
What is
I have no idea what she was talking about.
like the wrong text? Like she's the
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would not be a fun puzzle. I don't want to get involved in that puzzle.
This is a fun stream, guys.
I mean, we're just goofing off.
Spell
Oh,
check
okay,
did
hold
not hit
on,
that
hold
right.
on. That comes with instructions. Okay, hold on.
What?
These are the instructions,
Oh,
and
okay.
then
Yeah, I gotta.
there you go.
Okay. Oh, hang on. I gotta work on it.
From like the Saturday Night Live thing.
I don't
Um,
do.
You gotta get
Do
the
Sean
tone
Connery.
right. You gotta do the Sean Connery. Ain't no bum covers. I don't know if that was it. I haven't tried to do imitations, and that will, it makes me. I start doing either the one guy from Rocky Horror, the butler doing Time Warp Song, or I start going into Skeletor. It's the same difference.
Did you just say that one guy from Rocky Horror? Shouldn't you know all the guys from Rocky Horror?
I'm
Huh?
sorry, off the top of my head. Hang
Dr. Frankenfurter?
on. No.
It's hot dog. It's back to hot dog. It's full circle.
Oh, of course. No, not Rocky Horror.
It's like a record. It spins around.
But okay, so now I gotta look that one up too, because after having to school you on Bruce Willis movies with children that were not Sixth Sense or The Kid, Scrat.
It goes around like a.
Let's do. Hang on, give me a minute.
Let's do the time warp again. It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. You put your hands on your hips. You put your knees in time. And it's a pelvic thrust.
I'm so old. We used to dress up and throw toast at screens during that movie.
Dude, we still do that every year.
Yeah, but there aren't as many movie theaters.
And you get squirt guns, you spray it at people when they rain, you throw newspapers and stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
When you click on Rocky Balboa because it's above Rocky Horror by mistake, and you're like, "What the hell?" These are.
We have a drive-in.
I'm sorry, it was Riff Raff.
Riff Raff. Yeah,
Riff
the
Raff?
Hunchback.
Yeah, Riff Raff. If you sing Time Warp with Riff Raff's voice, you can totally warp it into Skeletor. Just gonna put that out there.
I can see that.
Rough, just so your mother likes it, Trebek. I can't see. I don't have it down
That
anymore.
wasn't bad.
So we have a drive-in here, and it's run by a really shitty guy that we don't like to give him money. But once a year he does midnight showings of Rocky Horror. And he hires so he does it on this big drive-in screen, and then he hires a theater company to come in and act it out.
Cool.
Yep.
And so you're sitting at the drive-in watching the movie, throwing toast at random people. It's fun.
And
That's
it's
the
not-
only time we give him money.
So it's easier to take care of after.
Yeah. But then when we do have to give him money, we sneak in food and drinks and stuff. So because we don't give him concessions, because screw that guy.
Do they check your trunk?
No, that is an illegal search, and we don't have that in Florida.
Do you pay by car or by person?
We pay by car.
Tanya, that's when a good old 79 LeBaron will help you out, because that trunk space is like a semi truck.
Yeah.
Rachel. Very realistic.
Oh, Rachel, you should hear my daughter do a sheep. It is freaking spot on. I only have the turkeys down.
Sunday, do you do any imitations?
I do not.
Come on, come up with
You
one.
should.
What's
Do
your
one.
best imitation?
I have been told that my laugh is like Betty Rubble, so we can count that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we hear it?
Well, no, I can't. I don't know if I can.
Okay.
Do it on,
Well, that's fine. Oh, that's
no, I
fine.
mean just like my actual laugh,
Oh,
like
So just say
like
something.
sometimes. Like
I don't remember what Betty Rubble's laugh is.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Hold on.
I think it's like, I don't know.
Let me YouTube it. See if we can.
Okay, I'm doing it too. Okay, so let's see.
Oh, who's my gingerbread man from Shrek imitation person? I love that. Let you come drop buttons. I can't do those.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that's terrible.
That's her laugh.
Okay, that's not a good one. Hold on. There's that like a okay, hold on. That was like an automated or like a computer one, I guess.
Oh, so that sounded like, I don't know, like a bird chirp or something. Hamilton, what are you doing? Ashley sent a voice message to the group, but I don't know if I want to play it. I'm going to hit mute.
Should. It's probably something about anal bum covers.
I got on. I don't know. Hold on. That's not the cartoon though. Let me find the cartoon.
I'm gonna go get something
Ashley's
to
sending
drink.
me the Gumdrop Buttons quote. I think we need to watch Shrek and we can reenact the I Want a Hero song where Shrek's trying to get in the castle and save what's her face from Marilyn.
My gumdrop buttons. Oh, monster.
Not the Gumdrop Buttons. Oh, that was going to be my last show to do costumes for, and it probably would have killed me because I would have had to build a big ass dragon in a tiny little space.
Well, I don't know if anyone finds a good one of. They're all like long clips or just memes.
I feel it's like, isn't it like a little one of those kind? Like a I don't know.
No, that one's not laughing.
I
I'm
sound
trying,
like
trying to find one, the actual cartoon.
immigrant song, the princesses. Yeah. Wow. You know, you got to have the Snow White doing this, looking all, and sudden she comes out. She's like, Shrek. We should do the watch party with Shrek just for fun. Get some gumdrop buttons going.
Oh, that's just a gift.
I need a hero.
I can't get it.
And the
It's
cat.
either you have to watch a clip to have the giggle, like you have to listen to, or let's see.
Cats be flying. Not in a good way.
In this series, we have discussed the 68.
Nah, there's like a
Okay.
big one.
I'm gonna act it out.
Right. Yeah.
George could be Fred.
Did you guys talk about Jesus while I was gone,
We did.
or hot dogs?
We let him take the wheel and drive us to go get some.
I saw this really funny meme once. It was a picture of Jesus in a garage, and on the wall there was like 30 steering wheels, and the caption was Jesus with all the wheels he's taken.
Yeah, I saw that one not too long ago. That was funny.
Better than catalytic converters. They said to look up one where Rosie O'Donnell was in it.
Ashley's last comment was, "It's so cute, I love it," and it was made about the same time that I turned my camera back on. So I'm going to assume it was about me.
Gotta be.
So you know, for future reference.
Yeah, that, what the, I told.
Where there's
Yeah, it's hard to do the. We need context. They need
No.
to put names and tell us what they're talking about. Say what? Of course, Ashley liked a lot of my stupid little, Vine videos and stuff. So I don't know if we can trust her sense of humor opinion, because I don't think I was funny. Just saying. Oh, and my Gish stuff.
What is that?
What's Gish?
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
Smashing Pumpkins album.
No, it was the greatest international scavenger hunt. It used to be called Gish. It was put together, organized by the guy. He was on Supernatural. He was the angel dude, Castile. And I joined it because I just wanted to make stuff and do stuff. And I had not watched, I only saw a couple episodes of Supernatural when it first came out, so I had not seen this show. Well, when you join these random groups to do this stuff, you realize that's when you learn what fanfic is. And so I would be on these group calls and we're discussing who's going to make what, because there'd be like 250 different things, and you got points for it and you submit it. And they did like a yearbook every year.
Hmm.
And you'd get prizes, and I have a lot of crap in my closets. But stuff like one year I had to sculpt something out of dryer lint. But it you get on these calls with your team, and if you're not part of this extreme fandom, which I think most people were, it's a lot of things they want to do to this person, or they picture the other people on the show doing.
No.
And
Sunday, fanfic is where you learn what Rule 34 is.
Yes. Yes, that would be.
I was like, what's Rule 34?
That was awesome. Like, of course, George. But yeah, so like I made a lot of cool stuff, had a lot of fun, but it was just that first year was a little rough because I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay.
Oh, Josh Hurley is horrible. He's trying to tie us back into an actual conversation with points. And then somebody liked it. Apparently, our conversation people do not enjoy.
We are taking some like some swerves. We're swerving all over the place.
Well, she's on a mission to find that laugh so she can do the giggle for us.
I'm trying to find the world's greatest hot dog, apparently.
Yeah. What real life hunts are we working
So,
on right now?
which ones do you buy to make at home, George? Should you choose to have hot dogs? Nathan's, Koikels?
The ones who I make at home.
Yeah, just pick some up.
Kirkland's hot dogs from Costco.
Costco's fun. I've not had their hot dogs.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
wait,
all we
no.
buy.
I lied. I
what?
lied. I bought their hot dogs like when you go to the food area, like to eat right
Yeah,
there.
it's the same hot dog.
They're good, but boy, that'll mess your stomach up.
They're really good. Yeah, that's all I buy. I know it's blasphemous because people are like, you should get Nathan's or whatever. Screw you guys. Costco.
It's cheaper and you get a pop with it.
And they're better.
And you have to cook it or make a mess.
Yeah.
Although they don't have chili and stuff to put on it though.
Well, no, you can buy the hot dogs. You can buy like big packs of like 48 of them or whatever. And then they sit in your freezer for 2 years. That's the only thing I hate about Costco. Like, you want a steak, you got to buy like 4 pounds of it.
Yeah.
Somebody else had to Google.
That was
Daniel had to. So funny.
Daniel got Rule 34.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so they are okay. Rachel, no wait, I'm delayed too. All right. So, are you guys working on any real life treasure hunts?
Hunt for it October.
No,
I'm being a smartass.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Rachel. Your Polish sausage joke comment just got me.
I'm actually not working on any actual real life hunts. Are you guys working on any real life hunts?
I'm working on a group that's keeping me crazy busy, but that's about all I have time for these days. I am working on a hunt, but I don't know if it does it count. I don't know.
Daniel, do not Google one man, one jar.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
Don't do it.
That does not sound like the advice a friend would give.
Don't do it.
Friend, Rachel.
Google.
Oh, she said no. Don't. I regret saying that now.
Google blue waffles instead.
Daniel's like, no, I'm good. I'm not doing that. Y'all are funny. Kathy says she's working on the anniversary hunt. I am not.
My latest hunt has been Sushi, the young spazzy cat that right now is jumping all over everything he can get to. Decided to eat a piece of dental floss. Apparently, my husband doesn't. That's how long. So that's my current hunt right now, and I do the litter boxes. Not.
I do.
The payoff is not going to be good.
I have a question for you because you're both reasonable women.
Oh, okay.
What temperature is your thermostat set to?
64.
72.
My fiance thinks it's normal to keep the thermostat at 78.
Oh,
Never,
April,
never, never.
I would be angry
Ever.
all the time.
It is hot as shit in my house right now.
Be angry. That would like literally make that would make me angry. Like I have to when I have to cook something in the oven.
Yeah, that would pop up to 89 if you're starting at 78. I mean, it's winter here. I've got it set for 64 because it's all windows behind me. Gets you.
Rachel.
But in the summer, it's set for 68 or 66 at night, 72. 72 would be my max. And that will put me into bitch mode. 78, the woman has no circulation.
I'm setting it at 74 now, and I'm going to get yelled at.
Uh-oh. Oh, you could do it with your phone. You don't even have to stand there in the hallway and get busted, like standing in the hallway.
She's asleep right now, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Does she lower it at sleep time, or is it just like,
No.
does she have like, I have set for 64 and I have a fan on next to the side of my bed. And I'm thinking blank.
I think she got into this because we bought an old house, right? We bought a really old house. Our house was built in like 1910. There was no insulation. We had a shitty AC that didn't have proper ductwork, and our Florida power is expensive, like very expensive. So when we first moved into this house and we were running the AC at a reasonable temperature, our power bill was like $600 a month.
Oh,
You know, and it was crazy. And then we had at my Mason Lodge, there's a guy that owns a heating and air conditioning company, and he came into my house and he's like, "No, dude, you need to redo everything."
Yeah.
He's like, "You got to rip it all out and start from the ground up." So we did that. Like he installed a new AC, he installed new ductwork, he put insulation everywhere. Like he rebuilt. Yeah, it was expensive, but it was worth it. Like we got a really good. Like we spent. I don't even like it's public, so who cares? We spent $20,000, and we got.
Could rip everything out and
Yeah, we got friend discounts. Like we paid for materials basically. I don't think we paid that much for labor. Anyway, now our power bill is manageable. But she's still in the, if I bring it up below 78, it's going to be $500 a month.
Yeah.
It's like, God, please, I don't want to die. Let me turn up the air.
I would be grouchy. I would be really
God.
grouchy.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. Like I just tell Rachel, like, you know how I am and how you don't like it.
Put the air on.
Yes. It makes a big difference in my mood.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are in a much hotter area, but right after we moved in here, we had the AC worked fine. It was the blower on the furnace that went. So there was no pulling the air in. And it was one of our lovely, hot, humid record summers here in Michigan. And it was supposed to be 2 weeks. It ended up being 6 weeks for the furnace to be, a new furnace to be available.
Oh, dang.
Oh man. And I was sleeping downstairs. Discovered that there is no cross breeze in this house. I was ready to drill holes in walls. I was like, I'm going to kill someone. I'm just going to live in my like it was not good. I mean, even in the basement, and it's a walkout, so half of it's underground. It was like 78 down there. Yeah, no, my furnace will never be set for 78.
Rachel wants me to try to convince Rachel to adjust the temperature. I don't know. I guess not all Rachels are built the same, but you can't convince my Rachel to do anything.
Well, maybe if you just get a random text from Rachel saying to turn the temperature down. Sorry, honey, I thought it was a Rachel told me to do it. I just automatically listen to something
to make things better.
Yeah. Who is this random girl named Rachel that's texting you?
Oh, that's too funny.
That would, yeah.
Oh, actually, I have a good idea.
I do understand the
really
bill
good
for the electricity, but it's safe for people in my house to keep.
Hang on, I got a thing.
Okay.
Sunday, did you see?
Yeah, I just gotta grab something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sunday, did you see the video that Ashley sent with the giggle compilation from Flintstones?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see. Since we're on pause. to you guys what you think.
Maybe it won't be such a big adjustment after all. If Fred scores the highest on that test, I'll have to hire someone to revise.
This is how all the ladies at my bowling league sound.
See, I can hear it. Sometimes I
Hello.
hear it when I do it, and I go, "Oh, yeah, I hear it." My oh, whoa, what is that? Hold on, let me turn that. My in college, one of my like, oh, what are they called? When you have to go do your clinicals, and you have the physical therapist that's like your, I don't know, your clinical instructor. That's what they're called. He's the first one that told me that. And I was like, really? I do? And then now, yeah, I hear it. I'm like, yep, okay, I hear it.
It could be, you could be, I mean, what if you were told you laughed like Fred Flintstone? Could
Yeah,
be
that's
worse.
it's better to be, to be
Like
better.
some grumpy old man, Sean Connery type thing.
Not to diminish Jenny. You should get Jenny's book. But you should also get this one.
Oh, yeah.
By John Rixton. Fred Wixton. Whatever. I don't know where John came from. Code ciphers and other cryptic and clandestine communication. Like, you should get that one and go through that one. Because that's basically everything you would ever need to know about any code, how it works on a basic level, from light signals to hand signals to like math. Every single code you could want to know about is in that book.
Can you show us again so we can actually type it into Amazon, please? Code ciphers and other something or other. Is it an easy to understand language?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it goes through the history of ciphers, and I mean, you do end up with pages like this, but but yeah, it's mostly pretty easy to. Oh, that's just a key. Never mind.
it is $24.99 hardcover on Amazon.
Yeah.
It only has 7 ratings. Somebody
Look, there
didn't.
aren't many of us that like codes and ciphers.
Well, it got a 4.7 out of 5, so it has good ratings. It's just
Yeah, it's a good book.
not many. Kind of sad. We all need to buy it and get this guy some street cred.
Some ratings.
Yeah, there's one. Can't remember if it's this one or not. One of the cipher books I have goes through a bunch of different ciphers, and then in the end, the guy created his own cipher, and he put the puzzle, like the code, in the back of the book for the reader to solve, and no one ever solved. Like, this one has quizzes and answers in the back.
That's cool.
Like, you can do stuff in it, gives you the answer. But he put a code in the back of the book, and then nobody was able to solve it. And like 20 or 30 years later, somebody asked him what it was, and he was like, I don't know, I forgot how to solve it. So it's a completely unsolved code.
Oh, wow. All right, let's crack it, you guys.
Okay,
I have
George.
something on the way to bought
Yeah.
me something that's very sweet.
No, you have
Or
to open it. You have to open it on a live stream.
Okay.
You have to. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
will do that because it's requested.
Please.
I generally get kind of iffy about doing that.
It's safe. It's safe to open on air. How's that?
Well, it's not that, because people do send me things, and then I used to do like Linda, and I would like open on streams, or I would like post thank yous, and then people were like accusing people who were sending me stuff of like trying to buy favoritism, and then people were like, oh, George just does this because he gets free shit. So I stopped. Which makes me feel bad, because people send me stuff and I'm like, I just send them a PM that's like, thank you, this is awesome. And then they don't understand why I'm not posting it to the group. But that's cool. I will open it on stream.
Yeah, and you could just do it on your own personal page, I think.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be on a particular spot. It is not hunt centric, if that helps.
Did you play Treasure Quest, the computer game back in the day? I think that's for George. Ah, yes. There
It's
you
not
go,
very good, but yes.
It's still wrapped.
No, it's not wrapped.
Oh,
It's
just
in box, but it's
tiny. Oh, that's why.
like it's complete. Shit, now I gotta go put it back.
And Rachel says you don't have to open it on air. It's up to you.
Did you know that John Palancar painted a cover for a video game? Painted a cover for a couple of video games, actually. I think this one.
When you first held it up, I thought it just said Wong.
Mahjong is a really bad game too. It's horrible. Don't play it. Buy it for the art. He also designed the cover of Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, that's
He's
cool.
done everything.
And then Vin Diesel bought that painting and hung it up in his house.
Cool.
Yeah, Rachel's like Wong hot dogs. Circle
Yeah.
goes around. It's like a circle.
Hot dogs.
So how
Yeah,
long is
they're
this
hot
stream
dogs.
tonight?
I don't know. I think we're gonna cap it because we're.
King's Quest was
King's
awesome.
Quest is awesome. Except like they're like unsolvable without guides.
Mm.
Because what was that one part in King's Quest where you like people for years, I think it was King's Quest like 4 or 3 or something, where for years nobody could like do this one thing. And you didn't have to do it to complete the game, but nobody could do it. And it wasn't solved until like 3 or 4 years ago, where you had to like click on a random space and then sit in one spot for 15 minutes or whatever and then talk to a guy. It was nuts. Those were hard.
I only remember the first one on, putting quarters in the video game.
You can play all these on Archive. They're all there.
I know I have the first one for my Xbox, but it just goes so slow.
King's Quest on Xbox? Am I thinking of the wrong game?
I could be thinking of the wrong game.
King's Quest, I thought was like a DOS game.
It was like what?
A DOS game. Yeah, like an old computer game.
King's
So they might have had a King's Quest. Yeah, the last one was released in 2016. So yeah, okay, there was a King's Quest for Xbox.
I mean, I could be thinking of the wrong one. too.
No, you're thinking of the right one. Was it a Telltale game?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, did you guys ever play the Journey video game?
The
Like-
band? Oh,
Yeah.
they had an Atari game, right?
No, they had an actual arcade game.
Yeah, well, I know they had a pinball machine. I didn't know they had.
No, it was an arcade video game stand-up.
Not the Atari game.
I wish I still had my Atari 2600. Pitball. Or beer tender? Or
Tapper.
Tapper, yes. Sliding the beers.
I got
Yeah.
Pitfall. You want
Good
Pitfall?
wholesome fun. I loved Pitfall.
Why is it like I feel like I have everything now? Because everything on stream is just like just like a foot away. Do you have this obscure thing?
I just remember how sore my hand and my thumb got in the original Atari joystick. It was not good.
I got a couple of Ataris. I can send you one. Have you ever seen pirated Atari games? I bought some the other day.
You find all the good stuff at the thrift store.
Man, I like old video games.
Well, so do I.
Talk
But
about old video games. It's almost cheating with me. So, what they would do is they would modify. Where's the game? It's over there. They would modify certain games with chip packs, and then they would sell you like pirated chips with the games on them. The chips just look like this, and then you would get a game that looks like this, and you would have to put the chips in the game, and then you could play it. So like this is Chopper Commander. You just put them in the chip pack. I bought I bought a whole box of them. I'd never seen them before.
I remember playing the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. Superman was stupid. I don't know what that was about. You just went swoop duck at Lois Lane sometimes.
Superman on Atari, yeah, it wasn't great. But I mean, no Atari game was great.
Pitfall was great.
Except Sword Quest.
Asteroids.
Yeah, Asteroids was okay.
They had a lot of. I mean,
Like Atari had good games. Like
yeah.
Pac-Man was good, but it was good on the arcade. Like
Yeah.
the Atari port wasn't great. Like the Asteroids port on Atari wasn't great. Pole Position wasn't great. They were all good arcade games,
Good way to
in
learn to
my
drive.
opinion.
I mean, that's how we learned to drive back then. Pole position. It's how you learn to drive a stick shift. But I mean, Minecraft. When I first time I saw Minecraft, I'm like, that's like our old graphics from back then. Why are we going back? Kids love it.
Like when I was a kid, we had a game called Hard Driving. It was made by Sega, and you would sit. It was a literal driving simulator. Like you had to shift gears and you had to use brakes and whatever. And they had like the game was just one track where you learned to drive, but then they had a test track where you could do like a loop. And that was it. And then you crash. So it was like put in a quarter and learn how to drive.
Yeah, that's about it. Start paying your car insurance then.
Did you ever play the obscure Nintendo game Spiritual Warfare?
That's funny.
Our puzzle riddle of the night. Which game does George? Which one single video game does he not own? You have
Well,
ET.
I don't know where I put Spiritual Warfare.
Oh my god. You
Like-
go around converting people by throwing the fruit of the spirit at them.
So this is like every video game collector has their niche, and my legit niche is religious video games. And there's this video game company called Wisdom Tree, and they made like games like Super Noah's Ark 3D, which is, have you ever played Wolfenstein 3D? It's
sounds-
Wolfenstein 3D, except instead of fighting Nazis, you're fighting sheep. Like it's crazy. But they've got these games like King of Kings for the NES and Joshua and Exodus, which is badass. Bible Adventures, and then they've got Spiritual Warfare, but it's not on my stack. It's around here somewhere.
This
But yeah,
is
I've played that game.
so different than ColecoVision football.
I got one of those too. It's up there.
Oh, I know you do. I'm just gonna come down to your house and play video games. You won't even know I'm there.
Got a lot.
But like I said, you find them. Like you must have the best thrift stores in the nation.
We just go to a lot of them.
There's like
You-
in Midland, they don't have anything like that.
So like with my job requires I drive a lot, and I just get bored on the drive because like my actual job takes me like an hour, but I have 8 hours to do it. So I'll just like go to thrift stores or pawn shops or whatever, or marketplace, or we just like a lot of times we just happen upon shit.
Yeah, well, that's the best way. Like when people find a
Do you
50-cent copy of The Secret, that was pretty darn impressive.
Do you remember a weird Bible superhero guy? Like they did performances in churches and stuff. Bible Man.
Oh, I remember something like, oh God, what was it called? Gospel Bill? Was that a thing?
Gospel Bill. I don't remember Gospel Bill.
Oh, he had like, it was like a video, but they could come to your church, I guess, because they didn't make a lot of money. But yeah, and they had, so he was like a sheriff, I think. I don't know why I'm remembering this, but that's what I remember. And he had like a sidekick, and who was like deputy. I don't know. Anyway.
So I gotta find this guy's name.
We just had the cops that were a rock band that went to all the schools. pigs. Were they called pigs? I don't remember what it was called.
So one of my favorite true crime. I don't want to say this is my favorite true crime thing because that would make me sound really, really weird. But one of the most interesting true crime things to me is this thing called there was a religious program called Joy Junction, which was a guy with puppets.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of that? It was big in like the 80s and the 90s. It was this guy with puppets, and he would just use puppets to talk to kids. He was on the Christian television network,
Okay.
and he was caught. He was on a internet forum talking about how he wanted to kidnap and cannibalize boys from his church.
Oh,
And
my.
it's like the most graphic shit you've ever read. It's weird. I don't know why I just got reminded of that. Probably because of Bible Man and stuff. But
That sounds like Bible Man's evil twin or something.
yeah. I found if you want to see some just like horrible people, probably look in religious youth programming.
So, George, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Let's get off the weird stuff. Not the weird stuff. Remember how I mentioned that the weird black plastic pipes going through my yard that like just pop up in random places? Would renting is it GPS? What's that thing called?
GPR?
GPR?
Yeah.
Would that be a good idea, or is that just like way expensive and not
It's
even?
really expensive. You just probe them. Just take a probe and go down the line and boop, 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 find out where they go.
But for all I know, who the hell knows what's under there? It could be a whole drainage system.
Could be. Probably an old septic system.
Well, it's in the backyard. It could be a tile system, but I don't really understand that.
Probably it's just a drainage system, like maybe water pooled in that area or something like that. So they would just use those.
Oh, there's what my
water
husband calls
system
Lake EVGV over there, especially because it rained really hard last night and yesterday.
I mean, it also could be an old sprinkler system. Like in my house, in my yard, we got a bunch of metal pipes, like galvanized pipes that stick up out of the ground, and it's an old sprinkler system. So it's not connected anymore. I mean, you could have a
it's
well.
Like this big. It could be a well. It's just
You could have had a well
built next to us.
Who knows?
Yeah, I just
Why
didn't
don't
know.
you just get an endoscope and run the endoscope down and see where it goes?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how big we have? Like,
I mean, I don't know, but you would know more than you know now.
this is true. And if I got that GPR thing or whatever, I'd have to have somebody who understands what they're looking at.
Well, I mean, if you're just looking for pipes and you already know where the pipes are, you could do that yourself.
Well, I know where something pops up out of the ground, like the plastic ribbed black tubing that just pops up randomly most of the way down the driveway. I don't know.
I think
But it
that's
was-
just drainage, isn't it? Like those are just
Probably. If it's black pipe, it's not pressurized.
like
So it's got to be.
Yeah,
big
it's like that ribbed stuff.
perforated. Yeah.
Like we dug a ditch in the backyard to do drainage away from the house with that. It's just this one is popping up.
I mean, it could be. You could have like a French drain system. Maybe not a French drain system, but just like the perforated drains, and then you got cleanouts that pop up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's probably it.
I have a question for the viewers. Why are you guys watching this?
Yeah. Right.
They want to hear more about Bible Man and his evil twin.
Dude, I can go off on some stuff like that. I will choose not to because Sunday will get mad at me.
We'll go. Oh, let's just take it off. Of YouTube.
Rachel says she has a gnome embedded in a tree from the previous homeowners. And
Oh, that's cool.
cool.
let's just say I thought about putting a lot of stuff out in the backyard in all the woods and stuff. Like,
You should just do it.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Go build all those Blair Witch like things with the sticks and just hang them up everywhere. Just leave them. Forget they're there. And then tell the kids that you hid all the Easter eggs in the forest.
Oh,
bad thing about going out right now, it's all winter dead and mushy. I can't tell where the poison ivy typically is.
Rachel says she's lonely. Tell Rachel to come on. Just get Rachel on. She's already here. Just send her the link. Tell her to come on. Nobody should be lonely.
See what
She's within driving distance of Anderson. I mean, it might take a while, but she could do it. She could go get skins tomorrow.
and she
Tomorrow's Sunday. She could not get skins tomorrow. Do not. Oh, wait, yes, you can. It's Monday. You can't get skins.
It'd be cool if she got Skins and the Bite Me Wieners, and we had comparison pictures.
That would not be cool. Don't lead her to the dark side.
Burn a
Well, I
Brit
don't know if they're
killing
any
him.
good. I'm just saying, out of
It
curiosity.
doesn't matter if they're good.
She
Like
likes
sometimes bad things are good, Evie. People don't do heroin because it sucks, but it's bad for you.
I mean, but she's also the one that likes the mayo on the hot
I'm
dog.
so funny.
Sunday's like, I really regret sending him this link.
I'm having fun. This is hilarious. Anyway, I posted the link. Anybody you want to pop
No,
in.
everybody has. There's got to only be like 2 people watching. Both
There's
of those
9
people have to
people.
come on.
Okay, Josh is still here. Samantha's here. Keith is here. Kathy, Rachel, Ashley's still here.
Wow.
Ashley
Yeah.
didn't come back though; she ditched us.
I think Lindsay and maybe Jennifer are still here too, or here too.
If somebody comes on and has fun, I'll give an anniversary hint.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see how many people.
And it'll just confuse the
related.
shit out of you.
I shouldn't laugh.
Send them to George Plain and see if he can tell the difference. 100% will be able to tell the difference. 100%.
I would hope so. I mean, they are different.
Oh, Erica's back.
Or
She's
where
like,
does
"Wait, what happened?"
skins get
George
their?
said if someone will join the stream and have fun with us, then he'll give an anniversary hint.
Skins like steams their buns in a weird way. Like it's a different consistency. It's different. It's best. It's the best.
But do they use? Are there hot dogs like Nathan? Like, are they a name brand hot dog or something? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They've always been the same as far as I know.
Well, that's good. Consistency is good.
Let's look on their website.
Just because I'm pretty sure that Bite Me Wieners uses Nathan's or something.
They use Sabrett's.
So that's a name brand, or I've never had those, but I mean,
Rachel's here.
yay!
Skins hot dogs. Homemade authentic chili. Oh, look, it's Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
I was trying to figure out how to get it up.
Awards. They have just a whole page of
Rachel.
awards.
Too. So I got invited. I'm like, great, my house is a wreck. I don't have brushed hair.
Oh, we don't care.
Either.
We get mine.
Look, my hair's all
I don't
funky.
have a lot of hair.
We don't care.
Just put on a hat. It's fine.
Um,
We'll wear hats.
I don't have any hair.
It is a cool hat.
I do have this though right here.
Yep, look at that.
That's nice.
It matches
I
your
just-
hair.
Now you're the Charleston puzzle.
I mean, my plan actually is I want to make a masquerade type mask for each of the paintings with themes from the paintings.
Well, that's cool.
So
Good
that's
idea.
the plan in the works, but it's going to be a while because silicone for each mold is expensive. Oh.
But she whips them out pretty fast, her designs. It's like, oh, I can use a reference. I'm like,
No, I should have used a reference with that. I was really playing around with that one because I was excited because I got the new materials and I just wanted to work with it so badly.
okay, if I could just whip something up, sculpture something, and it looked like that, I'd be pretty darn happy. But
I can't sculpt.
I know that's my point.
I'm very impressed by people who can sculpt. I took one of Joellen Trillin's sculpting classes.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, I want to try to do that in the future because I know it's like available up there
Yeah.
anytime. That would be really cool. I just
Well,
love
it's
art.
better to do it like wait until she announces another class and do it then.
So it's like
because-
live.
Yeah, because the interaction that you get is great. Like if you were to buy it right now, you just get all of our old
Mhm.
Zoom calls. You get to see Arthur. Arthur was in the class too.
Yeah, I
He's
saw.
all
Yeah, I really
archived
loved
there.
it.
But
Yeah, I loved his chair.
yeah, he was way better than mine. Looked like crap. Like I was like, I when we started out, she was like, "We're going to use nylon and we're going to use cotton and we're going to use all of this to build fantasy chairs." And then she got to me and she's like, "George, what are you going to do?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm going to glue some sticks together and make a rocking chair." I don't know what I'm doing.
That's hilarious. She's like, now, George, what are you gonna do?
Do you have yours? Are there like pictures of it?
Somewhere, it was me. Let me see.
That's funny.
What are you doing?
No, it has to be put up somewhere. It was just a wireframe of a rocking chair. That was all it was. It's put up somewhere. Sorry. It stuck though. It wasn't impressive.
That's hilarious.
Look,
George,
you know,
what are
art's
you
still
gonna
art.
make?
You got to start somewhere, you know. But
Yeah.
I
Or
have
sometimes
your,
you can just choose not to.
I have one of your picture. I have it framed up in my art room where I work.
I have yours.
Aw,
Oh, do you? Oh,
Yeah, it's on the wall. Not in here in the hallway.
awesome.
that's cool.
So yeah, thanks for inviting me on. Yeah, everyone in my household goes to sleep early, so it's usually just me in the wee hours.
That's sad.
That's why I
Oh,
get
right.
DMs all hours of the night.
You know, my husband gets up at work at like 3:30, so he goes to bed at 8, same time as the kids.
Just get addicted to video games.
I'm actually like on a sabbatical from WoW right now.
Oh,
I
you're a
usually always
wower.
play and go to work. Yeah.
I can't do. I could never get it. Like, I don't understand WoW. And I think it's gone on so long now that if I were to just jump in, I would be like, no, this is not.
No, it's okay. So maybe with the lore, you would have to get a lot of up to date with the lore, but it's a lot more user friendly to beginner players.
All right.
You know, because back in the day, it didn't even have quest tracking. You had to wander around, you know, forever to try to find something.
But it's also a money pit.
No,
Yes.
no, not okay. Not like games where you have like a million add-ons and downloadable stuff that you can pay and get more.
Yeah, but see, I don't
Anything
play
you're
those.
buying in WoW is like purely aesthetic. It's not pay to win, you know. So you have your subscription, you have to pay to play, but
Look, it's Dan. Dan joined us. He's driving 90 miles an hour down the interstate right now.
It looks a little dark.
Not true. Not true. I pulled over for this. What's going on, guys?
We're talking about video games. Dan, we got to get you into video games.
I haven't been in a video game since I was a kid when I used to play Shadowgate with my cousin.
Shadowgate was a good game.
Hell yeah, it was.
I thought about you today. We were talking about thrift stores earlier. I went to a thrift store and apparently, I guess, like a biker died, and there was like all of his boots and shit. And I bought like not leather saddlebags, but the leather bag you put on the front of your bike.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That my dad put his cigarettes and shit in. It was like $2.
Yeah, like a roll. I don't know
Yeah.
what they call it. Some kind of a roll. I don't know.
Anyway.
What's going on, guys? So you said if we come out here, you'd give a hint. So I figured I had to do my
Dan
thing
just
for the community.
Dan just came in to push the hint thing. Okay, let me think. Let me think of the hint. What do you want to hint about?
Oh, I just want the community to have something. I don't.
Okay, Rachel, what do you want to hint about? Like, what's confusing to you? Oh, look,
honestly,
Erica's on now.
I've put it down for a couple
Same
of weeks
reason
now,
I'm here,
so
Okay.
it might be better to let someone else. You know me, you know my area and where I am and where I'm stuck.
Okay, I'll think of something.
Erica and Dan are color coordinated.
I gotta say, I find it really interesting that two places that I'm stuck between were both used in the legacy one.
The legacy.
Why it sounds so weird.
What legacy one?
The 7 legacy one, yours.
Oh, the places that you're stuck in and we're using that?
No, I'm not using that. I just happened to stumble on that one because I was reading about it, you know, because I'd asked you if there was like a place where it was all consolidated. And so I was catching up and reading about that. And I found it crazy that one of them, you know, was Myrtle Beach and another one was in Anderson with it. And I was like, oh, what a quinky dink. Or am I looking at the wrong one? Like you could, they have the Instagram page with it.
For legacy? No. You might be looking at the wrong thing.
Because there's the Your Legacy website that's got the This Is Not a Puzzle one with the 1 and the 2. And then maybe I stumbled on the wrong Reddit then?
There's not an Instagram page associated with Legacy. Is that I know of. Well,
If
Brett
you
started
put
one. I doubt
your
he.
legacy in Instagram, there's one.
Oh, that's not me.
And one of the drops for it was near the church near Equinox Park in Anderson. And then another one for one of the puzzles was near Broadway at the beach. That's a crazy coincidence.
So maybe it was. Hang on. It might have been me. No? What is this? Oh, this is not me, but this is someone that I know. So, okay. Yeah. The domain, your legacy. So the Reddit puzzles were all numbered.
Mhm.
The Reddit puzzles that me and Brett did were all numbered. They were like puzzle 1, puzzle 2, puzzle 3. But they all had creative ways of incorporating their name. Like puzzle 5 was signals, but every S that you used was the number 5. So basically your legacy was number 7, but the L was the 7. I just reused that domain. So it looks like he started a 7th puzzle. Yeah, because he used one of my photos from the Elizabethan Gardens.
Yeah, because I think the 8th puzzle was actually at Heroes Harbor in at Broadway at the beach. And what weirded me out about that was one of my areas of focus with the anniversary hunt, and it led me to that area and the Jimmy Buffett. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so there's a photo here that says location of cast still needs solved access to the clues needed to find this. That was in Roanoke, and the cats, it's gone now. It was this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I had to go get it because it was electronic. It had electronics inside it. So when the puzzle shut down, I had to go get it. I forgot about this.
But it's nice to know that that is literally just a pure coincidence going on right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where some of this stuff is, because some of this stuff I wasn't involved in. There's one in Anderson?
There was, yes. You can read, it's more on the Reddit, and it talks,
I remember that one.
About
That one.
CNL Amusements. Was your grandfather's nickname Curly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about him on the Reddit.
Yeah.
Which is, so, I was like, wow, this is even more wild.
Yeah. So that was me, and it was a guy named Mark and Brett, and we were trying to. The purpose of the puzzle freaked everybody out because it was all true stories. Like everything about it was true. And if you Google these people, you will find them. Like it all seemed kind of over the top and shit, but it was all real.
Like even the letter with the money and everything else.
Everything was real.
Wow.
And the point of it was to show that sometimes good people are bad people, you know, and sometimes bad people like can like put off a good show that they're a good person, but they're not. They're bad people.
The whole mask.
And the ending was it was a dude who was actually murdered, and he was murdered in Lake Secession in Abbeville, South Carolina, just right outside of Anderson.
That's where we were. We were digging at Diamond Hill Mine when we were up there.
So that was the end of the puzzle. Was that guy getting murdered by some drug dealers?
Wow.
But and in hindsight, like probably shouldn't have made a puzzle about that because I can see why it freaked everybody out. But it was all stuff that happened like 30 years ago. You know, like everybody that was involved is dead now.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool to know.
I guess. In hindsight, it's kind of creepy, but whatever. It's what we did.
Yeah, I could guess how people following it might think, am I gonna get murdered myself while trying to solve this? You know?
Yeah, I didn't think about that at the time. But yeah, everybody that was involved in the story is dead, long dead. Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, you're fine. No, that
Totally fine with
clears up a lot of stuff for me. It helps me out. That's not my question, though. That's not a question. Let
None
Erica
of
or someone else have
none of that is none of that is like the current puzzle that's on yourlegacy.com. You don't need any of that.
Okay. I
It's too
see.
everything.
I toyed with the idea. It could have been something that came before. And
It
so
was.
it was.
Yeah, I should just scrub that subreddit because, yeah, I might do that. Anyway, what's your question then?
Oh, no, I
You
said
don't
someone
have
else
one.
had it, like Eric. Well,
You're gonna Erica is going to have an entire stream tomorrow where she gets to ask questions.
I get to ask questions.
Why
I
not?
feel like
Maybe.
Okay.
I just feel like I should have a really good question, and any question I'm gonna want to ask is like, is it not here? Is this ruled out?
We have a support system, so you guys figure out what people want to know. I don't know,
Wait,
and I'll
Rachel.
try to figure out a way to confuse everybody.
Let me pull up the list. Wait.
Because once
Give me a
upon a
thumbs
time
up
you
if you hear
said
me.
it was not a good question to ask if the flip was inside. It's been a while since I've read anything. I'm trying to pull these things out of.
Well, what was the question that Tim that won the Tim competition?
I can tell you that I went through all of the questions like before Tim got mad and told everybody that were bad questions. I think he did that because I was like, none of these questions are good. I could just give you
Generic.
they're like yes or no questions.
Oh, okay.
You know, it won't help you. Not that they're not good because they're all valid questions, but they're,
Now, I'm not proposing this question, but would the question what time zone or whether it be North or South in the Civil War, would any of that be like something that you think would be helpful or you think would be like something you would answer?
I mean, I don't think it would be helpful.
Okay. All right.
I think
I'm trying to think of something that would be a good question for the verse or the riddle.
Here's what I would say just to answer you, Dan. It doesn't matter. It's something I've learned with The Secret too. It doesn't matter what you say about certain sections of the country. Like people are always like, eliminate a state. It doesn't matter if you do that. It doesn't matter if you just flat out give someone a state, because the people who don't believe it's in that state are going to figure out a way to twist your words to where it validates their ideas. Does that make sense? A lot of the confusion that comes along from hints or whatever, or any statement that I make on Facebook, it is not from what I say. It's from people sort of twisting it. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah. They're trying to find the deeper level of what you're saying.
Yeah, it's really hard for you guys because even if I give you a straightforward answer, which in a lot of cases I have, it just gets twisted, and it's like, because I'll say something and then I'll watch comments and I'm just like, oh god, okay, you guys missed that.
Has the question on whether the letter is actually just an actual letter or a handwritten letter or anything been asked yet? And is that something you're willing to answer?
Sure.
Like,
was that your question? If I'm willing to answer that question?
No, no, no,
no. But is that your question? Is that your question? Is the letter an actual letter, or is it like a physical letter that you have to read?
Oh, that's right. Because there's a few ways that this could be.
I mean, I'll promise you, I'll give you a straightforward. I'll give you a straightforward answer to whatever question you ask.
I was thinking more like, is the letter we're looking for like a letter of the alphabet, like A, B, C, or that, or is an actual handwritten letter, like the letter to the country of Wonderstone's Hearth, kind of. I
understand
how to word my question.
No, I get your question. I understand. Okay. Is that the question you want to ask?
I'm not sure. Let me phone a friend. Let me go.
I
to
mean,
the
I'll answer it
comments.
in a straightforward way. I'll just give you
No,
an
because
answer.
I know
When
you'll
it
be
won't
like,
be
it's
confusing,
just
and
a
I
letter.
promise you, I promise you, won't cheese you out of anything.
Erica's like bouncing in her chair over there.
I feel like, does anybody in the comments want to ring in with anything? Erica, do you want to ring in with anything? I know you got your thing
Rachel,
tomorrow, but you can still help me figure out one.
I am loving that question. I am loving that one. The only other one I saw on the list is the line of clay visible on Google Maps, but I like the letter one way better. Way better. Letter. All the letters, one letter, all the letter. Is it the
Okay.
mini hunt? There's so
I
many.
say go for it.
We will
I
just
like
go
that
with that
one.
one then, George.
Huh?
Where's
We
Tim?
will
We
ju-
need our lawyer.
Go with that then.
I can go with that one, the letter. So is it like a physical alphabet letter, like A, B, C, D, or is it a letter that you have to read? It is neither, but kind of the alphabet style letter. Kind of. But in the way you're thinking about it, it is neither. But it is more the letter that, like an alphabet letter, like an actual letter, like A, B, C, D, whatever, than it is a physical letter you have to read.
Okay. So it's probably, that's kind of the way I've been interpreting it. I feel like it's supposed to draw us to somewhere else into the verse with that.
I have no comment on that.
But
But-
yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, you got the question. That's perfect.
Do you
We'll take that
feel
one
like that was like I snaked away from it? Are you just more confused? Because if you don't feel like my answer was fair, I'll try harder. But do you think it was fair?
Like how you said it, you're trying to tell us it's not an actual physical letter you're looking on the path for. It's kind of more.
It's not like if you were to look at a billboard and it would have a letter A on it, right?
Mhm.
It's not like that.
Okay.
But it's more like that than it is something you would read.
Okay.
No reading is involved.
So Rachel, maybe it's like you could see, like if you look at it maybe as a single thing versus a collection of things. But that's squirrel brain.
Was letters in the past one? I feel like Chicago, was that flags? Wasn't that like Boston maybe? Oh yeah, the ship
All the letters
flag?
are here to see or something like that.
Yeah, all the letters are here to see.
See, an interpretation I like of it, or I'm a little biased, but look for a letter, let it to be your clue, and then we go back to the beginning with the I and the T, and across from it you have the A and the B. You put that together, it's a bit. So to get there, we need more. Do we need a bit more? But also A, B, you got the different sides of records, so that's how I've been interpreting that. It calls you back to somewhere else in the verse versus something you physically read. But who knows? I've not found anything, so.
I'm gonna get back on the road, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
It's like, I was just here for the hint.
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Now we both put our thinking caps on. Everybody's going to be quiet. Should I go back to being blasphemous?
Well,
Probably.
Hot dogs and Jesus.
I need to take my Ambien so I can come up with all sorts of ways to interpret his answer.
I had a meeting the other day and I had to take my Adderall, and it's just screwed up my entire sleep schedule.
That I had to go off that when they tried to put me on for it because I didn't sleep for like 4 days straight when they started me on it.
Well, it's like I've been on it since I was a kid, and it helps. It really, really, really helps. But I switched when I switched jobs a while back, and they switched my insurance, and I was no longer able to see my longtime doctor. And finding a doctor to prescribe Adderall is next to impossible. So for like 2 years, I haven't been able to get it prescribed. But my previous doctor anticipated this. So he doubled my prescription, or almost tripled my
Like maybe
prescription.
twice a day, 3 times a day thing.
Yeah, so it was like I'm not gonna tell you how much I take, but he like I'm supposed to take 2 pills or 1 pill twice a day, right? Per my prescription every day, 7 days a week. But really I take half of one of those pills 1 time a day and only on days that I work. So I have like this like backstock, but now I only take it when something important's going on because I'm gonna run out.
Generic
Yeah.
or brand name?
Was that like a question from chat or is it generic?
No, because like I know with Adderall. Okay, I was on Adderall, the XR, and then they came out with the generic version, and the mine was like, "Oh, you have to get the generic, or you're gonna pay like $1 million a month."
Yeah, I use the generic version.
The
But I don't like
generic
XR. I don't like the extended release. I want to wake the fuck up and then just
Yeah.
slowly fall asleep.
I metabolize everything so fast; it only lasted an hour or 2. So they gave me that. But the generic, you want to talk Hulk rage? Oh man, it was like everything rage. You look at me wrong, and I'm ready to kill you.
Yeah.
That was generic Adderall was not a. I know they say it's only the fillers, but there was something in those fillers that was.
We went from Jesus to hot dogs to amphetamines.
I know we're just a room full of ADHDers.
Hey man, we gotta
See, I
help.
gotta
each other.
talk to my doctor again because I have to be on something with the kids starting school, and I've got to be able to keep all their stuff together. And I was as a kid, the combination I was on was Concerta and Strattera, and that was perfect. Oh, it was perfect for me.
Strattera.
Concerta was the morning, and it got me through school and everything else, and then Strattera was the slow release over the night. That combo worked for me.
I think it's Strattera that they like our doctor recently put me on because it was a non-amphetamine ADHD thing, and it just made my brain like not a sponge, but like gel. Like I couldn't function. I had to stop taking it.
Well,
So
now
if you want
it's-
some,
Shh, we have to take this all down. Well, now also with ADHD as an adult, with insurances, they want everything pre-certified, and you have to go through the step program. Like, oh, we tried this didn't work, so now I want to try the next level up.
do you want to know like a life hack for getting ADD or ADD meds as an adult? Is don't go to a doctor, go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing because I've been
It's
seeing on the
super-
kids. So, but
Yeah.
still, you still have to go through. Like, I've been on my meds forever, and I have to watch because they change it every year or 2. All of a sudden, I can't get my meds because the insurance won't cover it and the costs are so high. They're like, oh, you need to get recertified again. Great. Now I'm like 4 days without sleep meds. Not good for anybody in my house. And whatever, but
I feel like Sunday just got bored and left.
No, she's probably still there. See, she's there.
They say something. She's like, no, I gotta pop back up. She's like, Dan, I was only here for the hints and the Jesus and the hot dogs.
I'm hungry now. Damn it, George.
I
The
know.
good stuff. Yeah, that's what I went. I went to go get some dinner.
So now what do we want to talk about? It's the Rachel and Erica show now. What do you guys want to talk about? Sunday's like, I'm gonna go eat now.
No, I think somebody just doesn't want to be on and have everybody analyze her while the hunt is spoken about.
No, she's probably like eating a chicken sandwich or something.
I
It's
am.
like-
I'm eating some dinner, hanging out, watching y'all.
You got any ideas, Erica? Otherwise, I'll just chat about art stuff. I can talk about art stuff all day.
I get all night tomorrow, so let's talk art.
Oh God, no.
Rachel, I've got great pencils.
Oh, do you? How great are these pencils?
You get that 4-HB.
What's your favorite pencil?
I know what that is, Erica.
I mean,
Blackwing.
what is
It just sounds fun.
nice?
Blackwing. They're the greatest pencils I've ever found.
Really?
They're like
Elf is cool.
$30 for a box of 12.
Oh, jeez. See,
They're the best.
I'm a terrible artist with those kinds of things because, like, when I'm sketching, I just got a good old mechanical pencil.
Yeah, I like those. But like Black Wings make just black lines with no pressure. It's awesome.
Oh, nice.
And they're like
See,
they're not waxy, but they're almost kind of like the flow is waxy-ish. They fill in tooth really well.
Have you ever used Copic markers? When I was doing more
Yeah.
traditional art, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I used to do I used to like put art on weird shit, right? Like now I just do paper, but I used to do high heels. Like I would paint designs on high heels for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do surfboards. And you have to use like Copic acrylic pens for surfboards.
I did not
So-
know. And then did you just? I'm assuming you sealed it, afterwards, because that's
You
going
can
black.
like you can use like a clear acrylic like spray paint. You don't have to. As long as you get all the wax off the board, the markers stick. As long as they're the acrylic markers.
That's awesome. I
I have to find pictures of those. I miss doing high heels. Those were fun.
see. I'm really just trying to get back into everything because, my oldest is 4 years old now, and for a good chunk, I just had no time to do anything at all. And that's when I built my own loom and got into weaving because that was like the safest craft I could do around little kids that'll kill themselves with art supplies.
Let's see if I can find a picture. I'll send it.
Excuse me. We're still recovering from the flu over here.
Rachel, what hunt were you in before the anniversary hunt?
The Secret,
Mhm.
which was my first hunt ever,
Where were
and it drove me insane. No, like George knows some about this. I think Evie does too. No, man. So, my eldest is 4. My youngest is almost 3, so they're like 18 months or so apart. It was after I gave birth to William, my youngest. Yeah, I was just home all the time. COVID had happened. We didn't go out anymore, because COVID hit right after my daughter was born. And so I was trying to find a lot of things to do inside that wasn't just all video gaming. And, I'm taking care of 2 little kids. And, I had postpartum depression, but no one had really caught on to that yet. And somehow, I don't even remember how I found it. I ran into The Secret and got obsessed. Because I was like, hey, Charleston's not that far away from me, and it's involved in this. Let's see. It's a cool lion, a fairy. And for the longest time, I didn't even know the rest of the book existed because I had only found the PB Works website. So it only has like some of the beginning and then the 12 paintings and the verses or whatever. And it wasn't until I think like 3 months into me, I stumbled on the Facebook site and 12 Treasures, and I was like, wow, there's a whole book to this. Then I started noticing patterns and connections, and then I fell really down the rabbit hole. So that was my first treasure hunt, is The Secret, and that's how I'm here.
Nice. I like that answer. I always like to hear where
Stuck
people
forever.
were at.
Just can't
Waiting for the
quit
next
you.
cast to be dug up out of the ground. Which, it'd be really cool if it happened in Charleston with all that construction work going on right now. I feel like this is the perfect time to sneak down there and dig.
Yeah.
I really want to dig my spot down there, but I'm nervous.
Nervous of getting in trouble or caught, or nervous of actually finding?
Of getting in trouble and caught. I'm not a rule breaker. My original degree and everything was law enforcement and stuff. I'm a weenie when it comes to breaking laws and stuff. I don't want to get fined by Charleston. I'm sure I could convince someone else to help me dig. I'll just stand as a lookout. But
Dinosaur costumes are a really good distraction, just saying.
Yeah. Oh.
Find any of my shoes, and that sucks. I don't know why I'm just sitting here looking for these still.
Oh, but if we want to talk about like puzzles again and stuff, yeah, I brought up Cryptos in the chat. I only stumbled on that one recently. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Have you looked into that one at all, George?
Cryptos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the way that everybody that's into ciphers have looked at Cryptos, like I've came to the conclusion pretty early on that it was missing some sort of information, because everything works with a key, and the first three, they were difficult, but they weren't, like, the first one was pretty easy. Like I think it was the third one that required a hint before it was solved, but then the fourth one, people have just been stuck on it for like ever, and it seems like there is missing information somewhere, and
Okay.
because of the way things are hidden, it's like we're not going to get that information.
So I'm really not the smartest when it comes to ciphers. I like to think I have somewhat sharp eyes when noticing things out of place. But when it comes to actual cipher breaking, I'm like, no, here's what I've noticed. You take it and do something with it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I stumbled across that one actually when trying to look for anniversary hunt clues, and I started reading a lot more into it. I found a website where they actually have photos, of everything in there, because it's really hard to get those.
Yeah.
Something that I thought was really interesting looking into the K4, the fourth one, is when they have pictures of the other landscape pieces. One of them was just described as, oh, and we have this blank granite slab or whatever, over here. But it wasn't blank. It had grooves carved into it at the corner, which created a triangle. And then, of course, my brain connecting patterns, everything is, I first thought of, Pythagoras, and, we got our triangle and our centaur and everything. And when looking at, how we have the hints about the Berlin clock and how he said there's other clocks in Berlin, I was really interested in the water clock over there, which works off, oh gosh. Now I'm going to look it up.
Are you talking about the one that's like a bunch of different lights? Like random weird lights that you have to learn how to read?
No, not that one. It's the water one. It's the clock of flowing time, and it runs off Pythagoras theorem. And I thought it was very interesting that we have triangles on that, along with a reference to a clock over in Berlin, of which everybody thought it was that light one, but then he comes out and he says, well, there's a lot of interesting clocks in Berlin.
Yeah.
So what if something with solving the cipher does actually have to do with Pythagoras? If I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably butchering it.
No, it's Pythagorean.
Okay.
The theorem is the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
So I assume it's Pythagoras.
Yes.
Everybody else went away. Rachel, I sent you a PM, by the way.
While I can make that connection, there's nothing I can actually do with that information. I don't know. It's all, put in it.
I don't know. Cryptos is like, it's way over my head at this point. It's just way over my head.
Oh, it's infinitely above my head.
But yeah, I sent you a message. Check your message.
Okay.
That was really interesting, Rachel, what you were saying. I mean, because with Pythagoras, that's like the a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? Is that one? Equals c squared. I mean, that I could see that being used in a cipher, like used as I don't know if key, I don't even know the right terminology. I don't know if key is the right word or not. But you've got the letters. You've got a pattern. You've got a law, like a rule. It's interesting.
Josh Hurley's talking about the Beale papers. Anybody know about those?
Yeah, those are cool.
I think, like, in my opinion, total scam.
Can I not comment in the comment section without connecting to YouTube?
Oh,
You can try. It didn't work for me earlier, but you can try it.
the
Do you
Beale
have a
papers
post
just
to
seem
comment?
Beale papers just seem too convenient. Like, there's a buried treasure, but it's split across 3 different things. Only one of them solved, and it's solved in a very basic way, and it just happens to be the one that describes to you exactly what, is buried and where, and instructions, and you have to buy the pamphlet with the rest of the stuff. Like, it just seemed a little scammy.
Hey George, if you're sending messages, could you send me the site link for Legacy, please?
Oh yeah,
I'm having issues.
Error occurred, but it's not your fault.
just the link to the website.
Yeah, just where I can find it. I'm just I'm typing in different stuff, and I'm having stuff that I don't want to have come up.
Oh, that's generally the most fun stuff.
I'd rather go to Skins for hot dogs that I can eat. Oh, I didn't have the your. Thank you.
This live stream needs to be titled "Hot Dogs and Jesus," please.
What if your hot dog looked like Jesus, or if the bun had Jesus' face on it?
Yeah, like a piece
Maybe.
of toast and a cracker with Jesus on it's a hot dog.
Yep. Or your hot dog is what's the shroud? Shrouded Turin?
Yeah, the shroud of Turin. Yeah.
Got a Turin.
That was like etched or burned or whatever into your hot dog bun.
That's what Jesus put over his hot dogs to keep them warm. Why did Jesus come back? Skins.
Turn down the thermostat, George. Turn down the thermostat.
I did.
Go lower. I dare you.
You did
It's
already.
nighttime. Go lower.
I was born and raised in the South, and I cannot handle the heat. I could not imagine being at 78. Like
78. Oh my gosh. Intense.
My husband-
78.
my husband figured he was going to be a bachelor for the rest of his life before he met me, and we're trapped together now. No, I'm just kidding. But he did not even turn on his AC until it got closer, like to June. And I was like, oh no, hon. No, that's not going to work with me. I won't make you have it at 68, but you got to turn it on because it's hot. We're in the South.
Yeah. It's got to be cold for me to sleep at all. That just.
Erica's very quiet. She's like, I'm just here to listen.
There's a parable. It's like someone who doesn't speak a lot hears all.
All right.
Otherwise known as a mom's what I would say.
She's like, I'm looking for clues.
No,
I only give a shit about your clues.
No.
My name's Dan. I'm just here for the hints.
I'm not good at ciphers at all. I had one time I shot it right to Tim. I'm like, here, this is what I think, and it wasn't right. So that's all I got.
That's not for everyone.
So that doesn't help.
Ciphers seem like impressive to people. Like when you can solve them, people who don't know how to solve ciphers are like, it's really impressive. And then you learn, and then you're like, oh, it's not.
It's kind of like database coding. Like once you know it, it's a whole language.
Well, yeah, it makes sense, but if you don't know how to do that, then you're just looking at it going.
If you don't know how to do that, buy my book, Codes and Ciphers.
I just want us to find it and then have a giant celebratory party. That would be fun.
What?
At Skins. We'll just all meet up at Skins.
The ultimate meetup.
Well, what if it's in Tucson?
Meet up.
Are we still going to meet up at Skins? Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. We should have that. We really should. We should have an Anderson meetup, and we just all just go to Skins.
All the employees are probably like, "What's going on?"
No, they're all stoned and drunk off the old Milwaukee. They don't give a shit.
Just not on Monday because we'd all be there and it'd be closed. That'd be sad.
Not on Monday.
Oh,
So it was so
and
sad.
Dan said, please stop making me feel bad. I have to get this loaded before midnight.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry.
George, I was totally there.
Oh, George, you're in trouble making Dan feel bad.
Got to get the dog in the bone.
Yeah. All right.
That's some real commitment, though. Like, if you think about it, Dan was on the road, and you said, if you hop on, I'll give a hint. He went, skirt, yeet, and
Yeah.
hopped on.
Yeah, I called him yesterday, and I was like, "Are you driving right now? Because I can call back later." And he's like, "No, I pulled over." I was like, "I'm not that important, man. You don't have to do that."
Hey, at least we know he's safety first.
But yeah, I was super disappointed last time I went to Anderson because I went to put flowers on my grandparents' grave, and I went on a Saturday. I don't remember. I stayed a couple of days, and then we were gonna go Sunday to get skins, and then we couldn't. And I just told Rachel, I was like, "It's cool. We'll go before we leave. We leave on Monday." And then we went to skins, and I was like, "Oh, shit, I forgot they're closed." So I was really sad. I was looking forward to that the whole trip.
Should have gone to Bite Me Wieners.
Well, then, like last year, my friend James came down for like Thanksgiving. He just brought like 40 skins hot dogs. It was crazy.
Have you ever stopped by Jack's Cosmic Dogs in Mount Pleasant?
What now? What's it called?
Jack's Cosmic Dogs. You were talking earlier about how all this stuff does not belong on hot dogs. You have not been to Jack's Cosmic Dogs.
Is that the place that like puts cereal and shit on them?
No, nothing crazy like that. It's
Okay.
like sweet potato coleslaw and other things like that. You have to try them. They are so good. They've been there for a while. When I went to the Citadel, I had to commute. I was commuting from here down there, so I was driving like 4 hours a day. So I would stop by there for dinner sometimes. They're good. If you're ever back in Charleston for like a meetup, Jack's Cosmic Dogs.
All right. Yeah, I didn't think weird stuff on hot dogs was gonna be good. And then Dan or Rob, one of them, when I was in Chicago for work, made me get a Chicago dog, and I was like, okay, sport peppers and shit on hot dogs are pretty good.
Get your vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's family, a good chunk of them live in Chicago, and we were there. They took me for my first deep dish pizza.
That's gross.
Yes, it is. And they made me feel bad for not liking it.
It's super
I
gross.
don't like this.
Why do you think it's gross?
It's not a pizza.
It's
a bread bowl.
I should be able to, more bread, and I should be able to eat it with my hands and not feel like I need to use a fork and a knife.
I found a trick when I was up there for work because I did the same thing. I was like, I'm in Chicago. I got to try a Chicago deep dish. And I found out, number one, nobody in Chicago eats Chicago deep dish. They all eat thin crust. But I got one, and I was like, the trick is to just leave it in a fridge overnight and eat it cold, because then you can actually pick it up.
Is it good, better, cold?
No.
I think that would be too much cold. It's not like a normal size slice of pizza cold. You're going through. It's like a.
Well, it's like.
Be a bit
Have you ever had one, Evie? Have you ever had like an actual, like from Chicago deep dish? Because they're not the same as like Pizza Hut Chicago deep dish.
Well, no, because I've ordered some from Nancy's. Because my friend knows the owner of Nancy's Pizza in Chicago, but also here in Michigan we have in Detroit, and that we have Pizzapopolis, which is in Greektown and a couple other spots, and it's a thicker one. But you could pick it up.
Well,
it takes like 45 minutes to an hour for them to make it, because it's raw pizza dough, but you have a good amount of cheese, and it's not like all dough. So I don't really know how to compare. And I would say that the ones I get from Nancy's Pizza in Chicago are not as good as the Pizzapopolis ones. They're a bit different. But they're also, I'm getting them shipped frozen, so there's that too. It's not even fresh.
Yeah. Chicago deep dish pizza is legitimately like a bread bowl that you just put cheese on the bottom of, and then like 18 cups of sauce, and then you eat it like soup. It's not good.
There's no solid consistency at all. Ew. That I
It
would say I
just
have not.
wasn't.
You gotta eat it
Good
with
pleasure.
a fork.
If you're craving pizza, this isn't gonna hit your craving because it's not like the pizza that your brain and stomach knows.
No.
I think that it sounds like for me the consistency would be an issue.
See, I grew up on like Papa John's. You know, that's the stuff my family ordered.
Yeah.
Here we have this place called Danny's Authentic New York Pizza. I've never had New York pizza, or I've never had pizza in New York, so I don't know how authentic it is, but it's actually really good. It is the thin pizza, and
I'm poor. I go to Domino's.
Oh, see, I worked there in high school. I can't eat that stuff after working there. It's the only place out of all the restaurants and bars that I worked at that I will not eat after working there.
You find when you don't make a whole lot of money that there's a lot of places that you will actually eat at.
Well, Little Caesars, they used to be, I think they're $7
Ooh.
now. They used to be the $5.
They still are. They're
Not
still
much.
gross.
Well, okay, you said cheap. You didn't say gross. You didn't
Yeah, I'll eat it. Like if I gotta. They used to sell that in high school here.
say.
Little Caesars.
and
We had
They
this
have, like,
place
those.
that always hold my heart from like my childhood.
The little
You
squares.
might know this. You might know this. Is Pizza Inn.
Dude, Pizza Inn.
Pizza Inn.
With the chocolate chip pizza?
Oh
That shit was good.
That is, we have one here in Conway, and sometimes when I remember it's there, we'll go. But
They got one in Anderson.
do they have?
Thing in Anderson.
Dang
They
it!
used-
I would
they
have
used-
rather eaten there than IHOP.
Pizza Inn.
Anderson.
My parents met at a Pizza Inn. That's so sweet.
Oh,
Yeah, it's still there.
What's cool about
It's in the same complex as Skins.
Oh no.
So could you get a Skins hot dog on your pizza?
If you try hard enough.
No, honestly, the main reason you go to Pizza Inn is the chocolate chip pizza. I mean, the other stuff's good too, but chocolate chip pizza.
They make like an apple pie pizza too, which isn't horrible. But if you can get the chocolate chip pizza, because like if you go to Pizza Inn, as soon as they put the chocolate chip pizza out, because it's like a buffet,
Mhm.
and as soon as they put the chocolate chip pizza out, everybody that's in the restaurant converges. It's like a mad dash. You get like 80-year-old women pushing you out of the way and shit. So if you can get a piece, is good.
Yeah, what he just described is absolutely accurate.
Yeah. And the rest of the pizza kind of sucks.
That one thing.
Do you guys have, because it's like a myth here, like Emos doesn't exist and y'all don't have St. Louis style pizza, like St. Louis and Provel cheese, like do y'all have like paper thin pizza? Okay.
Pizza Inn is paper thin pizza.
Okay, I just had to make sure that it's the same Pizza Inn, the same all the way across.
Okay, so is that what's? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
Now
I mean,
that I think about it, yeah, it is kind of the same as the thin crust from the.
Yeah. And I say the pizza's not good. It's good. But the benefit, like the draw of it is not how good the pizza is. It's the fact that you can put like 40 pieces on a plate.
It's
Just
a
take it
buffet.
with you.
Still carry it
different
one-handed.
flavors.
Yeah.
I really my favorite one growing up was a sausage pizza, just plain sausage one, and then they also have a cheeseburger one now that has pickles.
Cheeseburger one's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
It tastes just like a cheeseburger. It's so weird.
I'm so hungry now.
What's the
I
is
would
the
be shocked.
theme food? We went from ciphers to Jesus
Yeah.
to food.
You know, if I ever make my own puzzle, it's gonna lead y'all to a restaurant.
Mhm.
What other good places are there to eat in Anderson?
And grab my pen and my paper here. Go ahead.
I'm doing chocolate. Although I could break out.
Just
some
gonna do
leftover-
like we're gonna have a meetup in Anderson, and it's just gonna be the George childhood food tour.
Hey, I'd be up for that.
We're gonna go to Robert Thomas's. We're gonna get a moon pie and a cheer wine.
And
Get
then
Coke and peanuts, and then put the peanuts in the
Yep,
Coke.
and the Coke. Yep.
Oh,
That sounds like a choking hazard.
And then we'll move
It is.
over to Greenville downtown.
We're gonna do
We'll
drugs
go hit
under
up
the bridge. or-
Candy part. Well, we can do that. We can do that. But we could go to the candy shop at the Mass General store. The candy part with the barrels.
Oh yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. All right. How long have we been doing this? 3.5 hours?
It's been a while.
Are you guys bored yet? You want to keep going?
Midnight, and we're gonna lose an hour tonight.
Yeah, that's all right. I just have to do yard work tomorrow. And I got to prepare for a stream. Erica, how do you want to do your stream tomorrow? Do you want to let people watch your video?
Well, I was
It's going
gonna
to be hard to talk about your ideas without people knowing what they are.
Or if it makes more sense for like you to play the video and then do the spiel, that way it's not like I'm waiting. I don't know.
Yeah, or we just pause it and talk about stuff.
Okay.
Like, I think, in all honesty, I'm just going to screw you right up real quick.
Okay, you get my worst fear. I did have a dream that it's like, Anderson, you go, nope.
So here's the thing. I made a vow to only talk about the city that you were in, right?
Okay.
And talk about your not the city, but to talk about your ideas and how I think your ideas are working. But talk about it in a way and tell people like nothing in this will confirm or deny a city. Like if you had been in San Antonio, I would talk about San Antonio the same way. But what's going to screw everybody up is I know a shit ton about that city, right? And if it's not in that city, you're screwed because I know a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So.
Holy moly. I couldn't imagine that it's not. I'm so sorry. I can't.
Well, other people can.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Other people can imagine that.
Ohio.
Show me a picture. Where's your leg eater? Where's your Willie? Where's your civic center? Look at George hiding his face.
I'm lighting a cigarette. I'm out of cigars, and I'm smoking in the house now, and Rachel's going to be mad at me.
I'm out of it too. But
I gotta go out
Ohio
there
was
tomorrow.
actually pretty good, and I loved Atlanta, and I loved Washington D.C. God, I loved Washington D.C.
See, that's what sucks for you guys, because there was a lot of good matches in a lot of places. And are the matches in Anderson wrong too? Are they just as good? Because they're just as good as the shit you guys had in Atlanta.
That's the problem. I feel like I can make it fit anywhere.
It's the same with The Secret. Like I was convinced of St. Louis.
And here's the thing too that I'm always thinking about. We might be making the right matches in all these different places because Arthur may have intended it to make us think of something else, but that still leads in the town that we are. You know, so trying to narrow that down.
Or you're making the right matches for the wrong reasons.
That too.
It sucks. I really feel like you guys are at a disadvantage because I don't think that I think I didn't know as much about the way Arthur did puzzles when we started this as I do now, especially like with the fuzzy logic stuff that he talked about. He really liked, like with the Starbucks thing and his puzzle he did with Cole. I didn't know that back then, and I don't feel like he was. So I gotta word this so it doesn't sound like I'm insulting Arthur because I'm not trying to. But I don't feel like the city was given in a clear enough way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it left you at a disadvantage, and which is why I've always been like I've always been on the fence about just like giving it to you. But I feel like that would diminish the puzzle too much, especially for other people. I don't know. But it sucks to see you guys work so hard on Anderson and that just be completely wrong.
Oh golly.
I mean,
I just
teeter
wanted to
back
see
and
that
forth
face.
from Anderson. Most of my strongest image matches are Myrtle Beach. Like, there's some things I cannot unsee, but I totter back and forth between the two.
Charlotte's good too. Like, what if it was supposed to, like, you know, there's a lot of good parts that are still in that diameter you gave us. And I think you've given us so many good hints. By the way, I meant to say that. Like,
I've tried.
So many. And like, people, I saw someone asking to eliminate a state the other day, and I'm like, do you not like to do puzzles? I don't know if that's
I feel like at the end of this, if it's not found, I'm not going to tell the solution of the puzzle, right? Like, so it can still be worked out. And it'll give you enough to where you know where to look, you know? And I feel like,
story, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like once you know the story, that basically puts you in a general area, kind of, sort of, and gives you a reason for everything, you're going to look back at the shit I said and be like, oh.
Like, oh.
Like, that was pretty obvious.
Has Sunday figured it out yet?
Huh?
Has Sunday figured it out yet?
I don't think so. We haven't really talked about it.
Oh.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think she knows. I think she knows enough to know, because she knows the story. She knows enough to know what I mean when I say you're going to look back at the hints and just be like, oh.
I do have studying to do, though, for tomorrow, in case I'm asked any questions. So I will be the first to lead the charge. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Have a good one. Yeah, I'll probably go soon too and have to go to the store.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yep.
That was awesome. Her face when I was like, Anderson's just completely wrong. And she was like,
You know, it's even if it was, I think she'd rebound. You know, a lot of us.
You know, it's from a
like
puzzle.
If we're told we're wrong, some of us would be like, "Hey, that's great, because then I know I can move on." You know.
From a puzzle person, like, I see both sides of the opinion on that, and most people's opinion anti-Anderson is because it's a cop out, because it's where George is from, and like, I get that. Like, if I were working on a puzzle and I was like, oh, it's just like the Golden Apple Tale, like, dude's from Grand Rapids, he hit it in Grand Rapids, you know, like, okay, whatever. I get it. No. And they'll all be vindicated when they find out it's wrong.
What? You talking golden apples wrong, or
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
it's so hard to see those. The drawings in Golden Apple are just hard to look at.
Oh, Stephen Bryant did some Photoshop magic and made those a lot clearer. I just haven't posted them yet.
Well, let me know when you do, because
I'll put them on the website.
I've been trying to work on that thing for years now, and it just hurts.
Yeah. The copies that we have are kind of crappy. There is a copy of, like, we know where a copy of the book is, and we're trying really, 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 really hard to get a better scan of it. And then the guy who made it also has a box of books somewhere, and he's trying to find them.
Well, I can just drive over if you tell me where to go, and I can just have, one of my kids.
Yeah, he really doesn't want people to talk to him anymore.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to talk to him.
Like, some people figured out who he was, and from what he said, they sent him some messages that I don't necessarily think are disrespectful, but he took them in a disrespectful way. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that's one of the big things that would keep me from ever making a hunt is.
You get a lot of them. You get a lot of messages like that. Especially about, like, legacies too. It's so weird. Like, John gets messages from people who are like, you need to give a hint to preserve Byron's legacy because you're Byron's friend and it's what Byron would want. And that just pisses him off. And I got the same thing about the tribute after John died. It was like, we need to do this in honor of John. Like, bitch, you need to get stuck in your lane and solve the puzzle to honor John. I don't know. It's a message like when you're a searcher sending it, you don't think it's disrespectful, but when you receive it, you're like, oh, that was not the right thing to say.
Well, and you definitely shouldn't be showing up at anybody's house.
No.
That's just
I
creepy.
got a way to get shot.
That would be so awkward.
Nobody's done that to me yet. Yeah,
Well,
Watch out,
nobody's
George,
done-
I'm coming.
It's too hot to go to your house, George.
that's true.
I have your address.
I've had some threats, but they never came.
It's too hot.
Yeah, it's too hot. Yeah, that's the one thing that keep me out.
You guys can come on over. It's fine.
If I bring my own personal AC unit
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to bring a fan.
or 6. Portable
That's why,
air-
like, whenever I'm recording, there's a fan. Like, I have a fan on my desk pointed at my face right now. And you used to be able to hear that in podcast recordings, and JM would get pissed off at me. He's like, turn off the fan. I'm like, dude, it's 90 degrees in my house right now.
So you really think she wouldn't, if you like try to do that compromise for a month just to see what the bill would be at? Like she's just like, is she just totally acclimated to it and it doesn't bother her?
She loves it. She loves being like 80 degrees is perfect for her.
Is
She
it a
loves
dry heat or a moist heat?
Did you just say moisty?
I
Like,
said,
we'll
is
give
it
it-
a
luckily-
dry heat or a moist
Oh.
heat?
Oh, okay.
Luckily, like, my car now has heat zones, like climate zones. So, like, I can keep it cool on my side and she can keep it warm on her side. But the car before that we had, oh my God, it was always a fight. Like, between either making it 65 or 95. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
See, I have to sleep with like a bunch of blankets piled on me because I just like the weight and I wouldn't be able to do that in that heat.
I feel like everybody in the South has a fan by their bed. Do you have a fan?
Yes, actually, right there.
I feel like everybody in the South has a fan. I have one too. I like to put a blanket on and then point the blanket at the fan so that the fan blows into the blanket and makes an air pocket.
And then it's just the noise from the fan too helps you sleep too, I feel. Because
Yeah.
sometimes the frogs and the cicadas get real loud.
Or the,
Wait,
or the
Edie, you have a
husband.
fan too? I thought this was just a Southern thing. I thought everybody in the South had a fan.
I have a fan. I'm here, and my fan is like here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going
me.
right at me.
But I
It's-
have like mine is we call it blowy. You can get it at Walmart. It's like a squirrel cage fan and it blows like a massive amount of air. Like it will blow the sheets off the bed. And it points
Apparently
right at my
there's-
face.
Apparently there's like one you can put at like the end of the bed that goes up under your blanket or something.
Yeah,
Really
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, that sounds a little. I don't know. But yeah, I go through so many fans. Because they're on the second I go to bed, man. That thing's cranked up, and I keep noticing I've got a 5-stage one right now. I go in there to go to sleep, and somebody's already been there for a couple hours. I go in there, and he's got it cranked down to 3. I'm like, oh hell no!
When we did
I want my sheets blown up like a little the golf ball tent thingies. That's what I like.
when we did the cruise, there was like 8 people staying at my house, and 4 of them were from up north, and 4 of them were from down south. So it was really weird, the division of fans at night, like the distribution of fans. Like you got Rob sleeping in one room with like, Rob, you need a fan? He's like, what do I need a fan for? Like, oh yeah, you're from Chicago. Brian needs the fan. I'm gonna take the fan.
So
Oh,
were
I'd be
you
taking
the
all
one
the
distributing all the fans or did they
Yeah.
bring their own fans?
No, they didn't bring their own fans.
See, I take our fans. Like if we go to the in-laws or anything, like our fans come with.
Yeah, I have a little. Oh, I don't have it with me. I have a little like USB charging fan. Like you charge it and then you press the button, it just stays on all night. It doesn't really push in the air, but it makes the sound. That's what I travel with.
Just so you don't. All of a sudden, the silence just you wait. Oh,
Dude, I
wow.
can't stand the silence. I'll go crazy.
That's why, like,
You know,
I have
I
to ban
remember
on furnace constantly because otherwise it kicking on and off. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
a
think the best sleep of my life I ever had was this summer camp I went to as a kid. And, you know, we were segregated by sex and everything. So it's a bunch of girls in the like bunk beds and rooms and everything. But on each side of the cabin we were in, there's like bunk beds in the middle too, and then you got the ones in the edges. I was the one in the middle. And on each side, you had these huge box fans. I mean, like bigger than us. And you had two on each side. And it was the biggest fans, and they just went all night. And I just got like the best sleep of my life with those fans.
Okay, it is now midnight.
Yeah.
And Sunday, I feel like, is just keeping this up out of respect. But I think
She really
guys
might
out.
not be there. Oh,
it's probably, oh, she is watching. You can see her laughing.
Yeah,
Sunday's probably
I'm
like, will
here.
these people shut up?
No,
She
I'll
started
kick you guys out. Yeah, right. That's
I'm
true.
gonna go. I gotta go to a store and then go turn on my fan and go to bed.
Wait, so why are you going to the store at midnight?
I'm out of cigars.
that's a valid
Is
reason.
that desperate? Like, what time are you going to go to bed though? Like normally?
Do you want to see me wake up in the morning and not have one? I would
get
be
kinda
very
nasty.
unhappy.
with
It's
their
probably
nicotine
like like
withdrawals.
me without a Mountain Dew in the morning, I would imagine, and me without Mountain Dew with a house that's set for 78 degrees.
So
Yeah.
Destiny's like this. If she doesn't have coffee in the morning, you can't talk to her. And she likes to, like, when she doesn't have school or whatever, she likes to hang out. So she'll go with me to work. And she'll just like hang out all day. But she is angry and she'll like call you an asshole and she won't speak to you until she has coffee, but it's very specific coffee. You have to go to Dunkin'.
Everything's Dunkin'.
It's all Dunkin'. If you make her coffee at home, it does not work. It has to be Dunkin'. And then she gets all cheery.
I just wish we had some freaking good donut places up here. There's like, I'm the land of bland.
Oh, yeah,
Land of bland in the middle of
I'm not a
nowhere.
big fan of donuts.
Well,
So
no, but
that's
it's like
about it.
everything here is just
It's because you live in Michigan.
no. It's like where I used to live, because like if you're near Detroit or like Royal Oak, near there, it's the hot spots. You've got all the foods, all different kinds of foods, all the different grocery stores. You can get like anything. And up here, it's like there's a faux place that's supposed to open at the mall at some point. I just went out there and I'm like, flavor, please. And it
Oh.
probably
My phone is legitimately about to die. I'm going to go.
This is like Southern goodbyes. We keep saying bye and then we keep
Bye,
talking.
I'll see you guys later.
Good night.